Would throw here, stands back near his own end zone, fires it out, and Gorkuber's got it! He's out past the 30, 40, midfield, down to the 40, he could go all the way! Oh my goodness! So we must have had Kelly Meyer the previous one, so Abby Haig tournament. Now here is a pitch, Snidey gets it, he'll go down in the backfield! Oh! So Francisco Rodriguez will take the corner kick, bending it in, a header and a goal! Well, chances for the team taking the corner. This one is bent in, a header, and it's off the goal post and in! And the Cardinals. Marty. Now a play in the middle, again pushed over. Monticello getting a little tentative here. Schlichting will down it. Here comes St. Cloud getting behind the defense here. Longnecker trying to make the shot. Lewis is battling Recklin Ellingson, and here a 4-0 lead over Alexandria. The Spuds get a lead pass up ahead. Here's Tyden Bergeson in. Backhander is safe. Time. Now we've got a runner. That doesn't go. Brown with the defensive rebound. Outlet back, a 2-on-1. Nice dish inside to Thielen along the left block. Turns around. Shot doesn't go. Rebound to Miles Gray. Outlet ahead now to Mason Witt. Tonight, the Alexandria boys hockey team faces new Section 8 AA rival St. Michael-Albertville. It's the only regular season meeting between the Cardinals and the Knights this year, so obviously this game carries a little more importance, not to diminish the fact that Alexandria was able to secure its first Central Lakes Conference victory of the year with that 3-2 triumph against Detroit Lakes 6 nights ago. But when you only have one common meeting between teams that have very similar records, this game will be quite important when it comes down to the seeding process for Section 8 AA later in February. Welcome to our broadcast as we come to you live from inside Old National Bank Arena at the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center in Alexandria. Jutner Motors is the presenting sponsor of our pregame show here on our Leighton Media platforms, KXRA Radio, and also through the Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, and we hope that it's a festive week regardless of what celebration you might partake in. We're going to start Christmas week with a little prep sports action, our final game broadcast of the old calendar year here in Alexandria with the Cardinal boys hockey team facing St. Michael-Albertville. The Knights have won 4 straight to go to 5-4 on the year. Alexandria was able to put a halt to a 3-game losing skid after collecting a 3-2 win against Detroit Lakes on this sheet of ice at the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center 6 nights ago. Let me introduce the people that are helping to make tonight's broadcast possible. We have Jackson back at the KXRA studio in downtown Alexandria, working in master control. And then 3 of us are on site, including our videographer, JP Bolin. Ironically, he also has the first name of Jackson, so we try to differentiate. So JP is with us doing the video streaming for our Voice of Alexandria streaming channel. The broadcast partner to my left is Jeff James, our regular broadcast partner for Alexandria hockey and soccer throughout the school year. And my name is Dave McClurg, a.k.a. DMAC. And Jeff, great to be with you for one night on Christmas week here. Right. And I anticipate we're going to have a pretty solid matchup here with the Knights and the Cardinals going at it, kind of starting up a rivalry that really hasn't had a lot of history against one another, at least on this level.
No, good to be here, DMAC. And yeah, this is one of those games, though, that you really, really kind of want to see where you're at. I know we talked about that with the Moorheads, but you run into the Moorheads and the Elk Rivers and a lot of those ranked teams, but this is the meat of Section 8 AA, in my opinion. You got your Brainards, your Alexandrias, your Rosos. That's where you're going to kind of figure out, who you're going to match up with in section time, and whether you're going to get a home game or not. That's going to be a big part of it.
I think, and I can't speak for both head coaches, Dr. Landon Olson for Alexandria and Sean Fish for St. Michael-Albertville. if you have aspirations of hosting a first-round game in the Section 8AA tournament, it would behoove you to get a win here tonight.
Absolutely.
Obviously, Alexandria wants to defend the home ice, and St. Michael-Albertville, they are playing, I believe, their second game against a section rival so far this winter, and they, like Alexandria, has a loss to the Moorhead Spuds, but again, this is jockeying for section positioning.
Yeah, this is, it obviously it was important when we were in A as well, but, Alexandria was kind of, they were kind of almost a shoe-in for that first-round home game most of the time in Section 6A. So here, this is a different story. It's a different season, different class. We're set to go, and this is exciting because, again, it's one of these teams we haven't seen very much.
Yes, and so, in essence, the rivalry will get underway tonight with the Alexandria Cardinals and the St. Michael-Albertville Knights opposing each other. I should point out St. Michael-Albertville is coming off a Saturday win against Brainerd, which is another Section 8AA rival. So Coach Fish's team is actually 1-1 against the teams in his section. For Alexandria, the lone game that actually 2 games that the Cardinals have played, 3 games, and Alexandria has yet to win against a section rival with a loss up at Bemidji and then home defeats to St. Cloud and Moorhead. I do anticipate our game will be getting underway right around 7:15, so we're still about 15 to 20 minutes away, maybe a little bit more than 20 minutes away from the start of tonight's game. If you're not able to be with us here inside Old National Bank Arena, we hope you enjoy our broadcast tonight, whether you're listening in to KXRA Radio or you're joining us by watching tonight's game on the Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube. My thanks to all of the boosters of our Alexandria Cardinal sports coverage helping to present tonight's play-by-play. Special thanks to Junkner Motors for presenting the pregame show. We're going to take our first break here along our Leighton Media platforms. When we come back to the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center, you'll hear my conversation with Dr. Landon Olson, the Cardinals coach. But right now, we enjoy these words.
Being locally owned here at the Culvers of Alexandria, Charles Johnson and myself, John Loomis, are very proud to be a part of the community. We enjoy the time we get to spend here, the memories we've made, and we're excited to see you after the game when you need to refuel.
Go Cardinals!
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles 6 times for a great deal at Quality Toyota.
First Western provides the best in customer service.
Professional, friendly, full-service banking is what you can count on at First Western.
First Western, you can bank on us. Better water starts with EcoWater. Get started today and discover EcoWater's products and expertise for the perfect solution. Visit WeFixWaterMN.com with offices in Alexandria, Fergus Falls, Glenwood, and Morris.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving.
I'm looking for people who have experience and are willing to work hard. For those that do, you can earn up to 6 figures working for my company. Give me a call and visit my website because we're hiring and we want to talk to you about your next career with us.
Why do I bank at First Western? Easy. They take care of their customers.
First Western, you can bank on us.
When you come to Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill, you can count on great food, over 30 beers on tap, and a creative drink menu.
Come join us today at Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill in Alexandria.
Good service, good friends, and a great place to eat.
Get great service at Alexandria Motors. Serving your family for generations and generations to come. Stop in for a great deal on your next vehicle. Alexandria Motors. One low price, plain and simple, always.
A broken tooth? Fixed in one appointment? Yes, we do that at Dental Health Associates with our CEREC crowns. We'll fix your tooth in one appointment, which means less time off work, less time away from your family, and more convenience for you. You're in and out in one visit.
What's your number?
We drove 25 miles to get a great deal at Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
I see generations who are passionate about what they did. I hope that I can leave a legacy of compassion for people and love for family and friends.
We welcome you back to Old National Bank Arena inside the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center in Alexandria as we continue with more of our Jotner Motors pregame show. The pregame coaches' comments are being brought to you by Alamere Health. It's better here. I'm Dave McClurg, and joining me right now is the head coach of the Alexandria varsity boys hockey team, Dr. Landon Olson, prior to the home game tonight against the St. Michael-Albertville Knights. Landon, I know that the schedule has kind of had, a little bit of start and stop activity as one postponement gets made up tonight and then another postponement came up on the schedule last week. So your team ended up winning the week, going 1-0 on the ice with a victory against Central Lakes Conference member Detroit Lakes. I heard your recap in the day or days that followed that game, and it kind of sounds like your guys got off to a really good start. Was that a tone setter, coming out getting a couple of goals in the first period and working with the lead basically all night long?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been starting pretty fast. We just haven't been putting pucks in the net early in games, and that's really been hurting us. So that was definitely an emphasis against Detroit Lakes, was let's get the first one and really let's build from there. And we did. We jumped them in the first period. I think shots were 15-7 at the end of the first, and we just played really well. But yeah, definitely a big emphasis for us right now is when we get chances early in games, we got to start putting them in the net.
It is interesting, Landon, because I believe in 2 of the 3 Alexandria wins so far, your team has gotten the first goal. And, I think I referenced the St. Cloud Cathedral home game back earlier in December. Obviously, your team got a shutout that night. But do you sense in the first 7 games or so of the season that the mood of the team is a little bit different when they're playing from in front as opposed to, kind of trying to launch a comeback to ultimately get a victory?
Yeah, it's always fun to play with the lead, play up front. But honestly, our guys are pretty even keeled. Score really doesn't matter for us. It's we're going to play our style and play hard and compete to the final buzzer. The St. Cloud game was a good example of that. We go into the third period down 4-0, and we had a belief that once we got that first goal to make it 4-1, we were going to win the game 5-4. And it just didn't work out, right? We got 3 and then gave up an empty net. But definitely easier to play from in front, but we're fine playing from behind too.
I know that your team was not satisfied with the 2-goal lead. I think they actually built it up to 3-0. I think that third goal against the Lakers came in the second period. Was that a sign, Landon, that you saw a lot of good things out of your team in period 2?
Yeah, period 2 we just kept building. Brody Berg had a really big goal where Miles Brightsman kept the puck in, finds him on the back door, and that third goal ended up being the game winner. Detroit Lakes came out really hard in the third. Felt like we kind of rested on our 3-goal lead a little too much, and they definitely made a battle out of it. But proud of how we handled that and didn't fold.
Yeah, I believe it was a situation in that third period where Detroit Lakes got the 2 goals pretty early in the frame. So that much of that third period, I think, played along at 3-2 for the Alexandria Cardinals. So, in essence, in closing the game out, once Detroit Lakes tightened the notches a little bit, were you happy with the way the game was able to unfold to the end?
Yeah, like I said, we wasn't really pleased with how we played in the third at the beginning, but we buckled down. We were resilient. We handled what we needed to. Played really good shutdown defense the last 10 minutes of that game, and it showed. It showed in our leadership and just how we handled that we can win those really close games like that too.
I believe Owen Bruder was your netminder in the victory against Detroit Lakes. How do you assess his performance and maybe the defense in front of him that allowed him to pick up his second win of the season so far?
Yeah, I thought he played great that game. There were 2 goals. One was a deflection, one was a bad turnover. Neither one were on him. I thought he tracked the puck really well. He just stayed really calm and confident in the net. As a D-core, I thought we did the same. We did a good job on moving pucks, clearing guys out, playing physical in corners. But there's definitely things we just need to work on to improve to just help us stay out of our D-zone a little more and stay on the attack.
Before we talk a little bit about tonight's section matchup against St. Michael-Albertville, Landon, I wanted to get a comment or two from you regarding what happened a couple of Thursdays ago when the Moorhead Spuds visited the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center. I know that you went in thinking like, we're here to compete as well, and I thought for a good stretch of the game that exactly was the case, but now that you've had the chance to see in action what the Moorhead Spuds are like and how your team was able to match up against them, what were some of the learning lessons from that night?
Yeah, third period is the third period. I thought we played well the first 2. Realistically, could have came out of that first period nothing. They score a turnover goal, and then they get a couple goals in the second. But I felt like we played with them. There's a skilled team, a high-paced team, and it shows our guys what that level is and where we need to be. And our weeks of practice since then have been really, really good when we're not out with weather. But it definitely showed our guys that we can compete, that we need to be really hard and really focused and dedicated, and not just a game day player. We need to be practice players too, and really believe in ourselves. And that was really the message after that game, right? They're a good team, they're a special team, but that doesn't mean we can't be a special team too.
We are visiting right now with Dr. Landon Olson, the head coach of the Alexandria Cardinals boys hockey team, as our Coach's Comments feature is being brought to you by Alamere Health. We have play-by-play on the way as we get a little bit deeper into the 7 o'clock hour of Alexandria versus St. Michael-Albertville at the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center. This is a matchup between 2 now common opponents in Section 8AA. And Landon, I'll ask you a few things about St. Michael-Albertville. I know that they've already played Moorhead just like your Alexandria Cardinals have. The final outcome for their head-to-head was very similar, but I think Moorhead hung 6 on the board in the third period, so I think it was 2-2 going into the third up there. But St. Michael-Albertville's been surging as of late. I think the Knights have won 4 in a row to get to 5-4 on the year. Have you been able to get a lot of knowledge or intelligence on your opponent for tonight?
Yeah, we try to watch as much film as we can when we can. So we watched their Moorhead game, which is tough to evaluate, right? You have to kind of play a different style against them, but they just beat Brainerd on Saturday 8-1. They beat some really good teams lately. I have an idea on what they're going to do. They're going to be a fast, physical team. Their top 4 are really skilled, top 4 forwards. Really skilled, put the puck in the net, play well as a unit. So we need to eliminate them or limit their chances, and then score on our chances, keep the puck out, keep the puck in their zone as much as we can. I think there's areas that we can expose for our benefit. But it's just another challenge, right? This jumping up to AA is just a challenge, and we're ready for it.
Do you feel, Landon, that in terms of speed and some other factors that your team has similarities to St. Michael-Albertville, or are there some things that you feel that maybe your team has an advantage over St. Michael-Albertville?
Yeah, I think the speed thing is we're pretty similar. We got a pretty fast team, especially like first couple steps. Some of our guys maybe don't have that top end speed, but our explosiveness is definitely there. And then we have some really skilled guys. Some of them are pretty frustrated right now because they're not putting pucks in the net like they feel like they're supposed to. And so it's trying to get them to maybe play a little more gritty, a little more in-your-face style, and then those goals will come. It opens up the ice a lot, and then we have like our third line right now. We're doing a little rotation there. All 4 of them have been playing really well, playing really hard, playing physical, just like we need. So I like our team's makeup. I feel like we have some good skill and a good mix of grit. and we just have to put all of it together for a full 51, and anything can happen at that point.
In terms of elements for success tonight, is playing that complete game, what you want to do for a full 51 minutes, is that one of the more important factors?
Yeah, absolutely. I asked the boys what their top 4 were for the night, and theirs were, the keys were score the first goal, win puck races, be disciplined, and play for each other. I think all 4 of those are keys every single night, and we do those 4 things. Typically those nights are going to end up pretty happy for us.
Landon, one final question I wanted to ask you about, and it's not necessarily related to on the ice, but maybe surrounding the ice here. Of course, we make mention of Old National Bank Arena being the presenting sponsor of the naming rights for the main arena at the Prime West Health Ruinstone Community Center, but we're actually standing in a part of the building which was under construction at this time last winter. What are your thoughts as a head coach in a high school boys hockey program here in Alexandria of the updates that have been made here at the Prime West Health RCC?
Yeah, man, the updates that have been made are incredible. We're very fortunate to have this facility, to have the staff at the facility, the community that really supports us here. We're very fortunate. We got a new locker room with the whole setup. Kind of our whole new area with boys high school, girls high school in the Blizzard. We have our own hallway that really kind of secludes us and makes it feel really special. But we, as a coach and a former player here and alumni, I know how special it is, how special we have it here, because there's a lot of teams that don't have the facilities that we have, and that's just a testament to our community. We have a great booster club, great support throughout our whole community. We're just very fortunate to be where we are. Yeah.
Excellent. Landon, thanks as always for the conversation. I wish you and the Alexandria Cardinals the very best in this final game before the Christmas holiday. Merry Christmas to you and your family and the Cardinal hockey family as well, and we appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
There is Dr. Landon Olson, the head coach of the Alexandria Cardinals boys hockey team. Our special guest is part of our Coach's Comments feature presented by Alamere Health. It's better here. And we are coming to you from inside Old National Bank Arena at the Prime West Health Ruinstone Community Center. Junior varsity game wrapped up just as we were coming on the air. St. Michael-Albertville prevailed in that. The only goal of the game was scored in the overtime, and the visiting Knights won the JV matchup by a score of 1-0. This is one of 2 high school activities on the Alexandria varsity schedule tonight. The other event is a makeup game as well. Last Thursday, Alexandria's girls basketball game at Maple Grove Senior High was weathered out as Alexandria released from school early that day. So the Lady Cards are making that game up tonight. Alexandria puts an 8-0 record on the line against the Maple Grove Crimson. Tomorrow night, the Alexandria boys swimming and diving team will have its second home event of the year. The Thursday postponement last week gets made up in less than 24 hours at Discovery Middle School with the Alexandria boys swimming and diving team hosting Sauk Rapids Rice. The blended JV varsity competition will start at 6. Our thanks to Jutner Motors for presenting our pregame coverage. Let's take a break along our latent media platforms, and then we're back with the introduction of lineups and the play-by-play of Alexandria Cardinal boys hockey after this timeout.
From your first home to a growing family, life keeps moving. Hi, I'm Sarah Iverson with State Farm Insurance. Every change means something new to protect. Let's start a conversation today about your peace of mind, because like a good neighbor, Sarah Iverson will be there.
Casa Jalisco. Take a trip south of the border to a place where you can savor the flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine. Casa Jalisco offers a true taste of Mexico without the airfare. Casa Jalisco, your Mexican getaway in downtown Alexandria.
Enjoy life at the lake and work for a growing company that offers rewarding careers and cares about your well-being. Agard. We build cool machines and are hiring for multiple positions across the organization. Plus, no-cost health benefits for you and your family.
A successful win isn't about the score. It's about what you put into the game. If a successful win matters to you on the purchase or sale of your property, hard work matters to me. Todd Whiting, Century 21, 766-2200.
Hi, I'm Dr. Emma.
And I'm Dr. AJ. We're the dentists at the Alexandria Dental Clinic, where advanced care meets a family-first approach.
From cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign to restorative work and pediatric care.
Alexandria Dental Clinic, your smile's new best friend.
Hi, Carl Qualley with Qualley Real Estate. Our business approach is based on what we call the 4 E's: experience, expertise, ethics, and energy. Qualities that led us to be voted best real estate company 3 years in a row. Find your real estate coach at Qualley Real Estate, where we protect your money.
CM Woodworks produces high-quality cabinetry and furniture locally, right here in Nelson. See their showroom at 7300 39th Avenue Northeast in Nelson. CM Woodworks. Custom wood creations. Designed for beauty, built for life.
Carlson Music Center, downtown Alexandria. Yamaha pianos and new unused equipment. Lessons and instruction. Learn from the best, piano and voice to guitar and violin. Carlson Music Center, for all your musical needs in Alexandria.
The Tradesman Construction has built a rich history as being the premier, most referred, full-service general contractor in the area. They are a proud supporter of all Alexandria Cardinal teams. Find them online at tradesmanconstruction.com.
Getting in and out of the pharmacy is easy with Trum Drug's app, RX Local. Download the app, choose Trum Drug as your pharmacy, use it for medication refills and reminders. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
From the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center in Alexandria, Cardinal Boys Hockey is on the air. Thanks for joining us tonight on our late media platforms, including KXRA Radio, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, 105.7 FM, KXRA Alexandria. Thanks for watching our live video stream tonight on the Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube. Special thank you to the crew at Integrity Title in Alexandria for being our signature streaming sponsor of Alexandria Cardinal Sports Play-by-Play during the 2025-26 school year. The arena has been darkened as the Alexandria Cardinal boys hockey players are getting set to make their entrance into the arena. Alexandria is 3-0 on the year, coming off a 3-2 win last Tuesday against Detroit Lakes. The opponent for the Cardinals, St. Michael-Albertville, comes in at 5-4 on the year, and the Knights have won 4 consecutive games, including an 8-1 decision over Brainerd on Saturday. St. Michael-Albertville is 1-1 against teams in Section 8 AA. Alexandria is looking for its first section win of the year. The Cardinals have lost at Bemidji and have suffered home defeats to the St. Cloud Crush and to the Moorhead Spuds. Let's take an opportunity to introduce the lineups for the teams. Our lineup introductions being brought to you by Alamere Health. First of all, for the St. Michael-Albertville Knights, their goaltender is a senior, Lucas Ingebrigtsen. 4-2 record, 2.5 goals against average with a save percentage of .924. The defensive partners in front of him will include sophomore Owen Verness, who is a 5-point scorer, and junior captain Caden Clark, who is a 10-point scorer with 9 helpers this year. The forward line will be centered by junior Tyler Bechtold, a 6-point scorer with 6 helpers. And then on the wings, Braden Waller, a junior who has 9 goals and 2 assists for 11 points. And Easton Monahan, who is also a junior, a 7-point scorer with 7 helpers. Sean Fish is the head coach of the St. Michael-Albertville boys hockey team, and the Knights are presently 5-4. The Alamere Health starting lineup for the Alexandria Cardinals will have senior Brady Schluter in goal, 1-2 record with a 2.35 goals against average and an .881 save percentage. The deep pair in front of him will include sophomore Brolin McPhail, a 3-point scorer, and junior Will Draper, also a 3-point scorer. Their lines are identical, 1 goal, 2 assists for 3 points. The forward line will be centered by senior Evan Klemick, a 6-point scorer with 3 goals and 3 assists. On the wings, you'll have Brody Berg, a senior, who's a 9-point scorer with 6 goals. The 6 goals leads his team in that category, and he'll partner up with junior Miles Beitzman, a 2-point scorer with a pair of helpers. Dr. Landon Olson is the head coach of the Alexandria boys hockey team, which is 1-1 in the Central Lakes Conference with an overall record of 3-4. The lineups presented to you by Alamere Health. It's better here. Momentarily, we'll have the presentation of the national anthem. We will bring that to you on our late media platforms as well. The anthem is presented by Carlson Music Center in Alexandria. For any and all of your musical needs, including voice lessons, visit online at carlsonmusiccenter.com, carlsonmusiccenter.com. Now again, whether you're listening on KXRA Radio or watching on our YouTube channel, the presentation of our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. We extend our appreciation to Carlson Music Center for being the presenting sponsor of the Star-Spangled Banner, our national anthem prior to varsity competition. Welcome, welcome. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. It is Christmas week all across the world, and we thank you for sharing a part of your Christmas week with us here on our late media platforms, the Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube, and also on KXRA Radio. As you watch on our YouTube channel, the Alexandria Cardinals have the white jersey tops, the black breezers, the block lettering with the words Alex across the front of the uniform, and then the black numerals and the nameplate on the back of the Alexandria uniforms. The numbers are also on the shoulders of the Cardinal jerseys, and Alexandria will flow right to left in the opening period of tonight's game. The St. Michael-Albertville school colors are royal blue and gold. The Knights are wearing the blue jerseys with some gold and cream-colored trim, blue breezers as well. And the St. Michael-Albertville hockey players also have the nameplate on the back of their jerseys. And of course, when we refer to nameplate, that means the last name of the players on their respective jerseys. So we have the puck dropped and our game is underway. 17 minutes put on the clock, and St. Michael-Albertville will control the opening face-off and play it into the Alexandria end, where it does get redirected out of the zone by Brolin McPhail, and then St. Michael-Albertville will play it back in. McPhail's going to send it over along the right half wall up to neutral ice. St. Michael-Albertville will retrieve it here. And now here is Evan Klimek looking to pursue, but St. Michael-Albertville breaks out. Easton Monahan working his way up the right side into the offensive zone. His centering pass intercepted, and then a clearing attempt got broken up by St. Michael-Albertville. Now the Cardinals get it back. Alexandria unable to move it out of the zone here, as St. Michael-Albertville will keep it in. And here's a wrist shot from a tough angle by one of the Knights players, and that got deflected over into the corner. Tanner Esterberg's shot never came on net. Now it does come back out top. Caden Clark has it. It'll be fed down inside, and there, the goaltender Brady Schluter sees some activity, and he'll cover up, and we'll have a face-off coming up in the Alexandria end. Again, for our YouTube audience, our instant replays as you watch are being brought to you by Quali Real Estate. Face off to the left of the goaltender Schluter, and the draw goes over into the corner. St. Michael-Albertville trying to work it around, but eventually Alexandria comes away with it, and the Cardinals will play it out of the zone. Right now, the Will Thornburg, Grady Olson, Owen Klimek forward line is on the ice for the Alexandria Cardinals. As now Owen Klimek races to the puck. He'll take the wrist shot, and a blocker save is made by the goaltender Lucas Ingebretson. Now the puck over in the corner, and it's going to be dug out. St. Michael-Albertville will play it the other way, but we'll have an icing call. First one of the night, and a face-off will be forthcoming in the night zone.
I hope you don't have a stiff neck if you're in the stands watching this one tonight, D-Mac. They're going to be going back and forth really fast. These two teams really match up very well. They both use speed and physical play. This is going to be a fun one.
Off the face-off, Harlan Ream tries to take a shot, and that got deflected away out of play, so another face-off will be forthcoming. Ream, Bennett, Waldorf, and Hunter Haskamp form a forward line for Alexandria. Right now, you had Connor Wang and Nick Schultz as your D partners, but now you'll have Aiden Schneiderhan and Rogan Anderson coming out. And off the face-off, St. Michael-Albertville gains control, and the Knights will look to play the puck out of the zone. It's Sam Brown sending it ahead. Brown and Captain Dylan Fauché help to make up D partnership for St. Michael-Albertville. Now the puck gets played into the Alexandria end, cycled around, and now St. Michael-Albertville will try to work it out front. It does come toward Fauché. He'll send a shot off target. The rebound off the back wall, and the tap got deflected, and Alexandria will play it out into neutral ice. Now briefly back into the Cardinals zone, and now the puck deflected by St. Michael-Albertville, and the Cardinals will make a line change here as Alexandria will bring the forward line of Brody Berg, Evan Klimek, and Miles Breitzman back on the ice. St. Michael-Albertville's Tyler Bechtold tried to apply a shot. Now Alexandria coming the other way on a rush. Evan Klimek tried to drop it off for Breitzman. That got broken up here by Tyler Bechtold, and the puck went back into neutral ice. No scores. We're approaching 3 minutes. Time elapsed in tonight's game. Opening period inside Old National Bank Arena at the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center in Alexandria. It's JJ, Jeff James, and me, D-Mac, joined by JP. JP Bolin, our videographer for tonight's game. Here's a shot by the Cardinals' Grady Olson, who gets out into the offensive zone, and the save gets made, and then the net comes off the foundation, and we'll have a face-off forthcoming in the Knights' end.
Couple of really good opportunities both ways so far, D-Mac. These two teams, it's hard to tell the people at home how fast they're actually moving. It always looks a little slower on camera than it does when you're here in person, but these two teams are humming right now.
Yeah, they'll definitely get a good workout moving up and down the ice tonight. Grady Olson battling for the draw against the Knights' Owen Volkanent, and the Cardinals do put a puck toward goaltender Ingebretson, who stops it, and we'll have another face-off coming up. Again, Volkanent against Grady Olson. The Cardinals win the draw. The shot by Will Thornburg goes a little bit wide. Now the Cardinals will play it back down inside, and it's going to be stopped here by Ingebretson, and we'll have another face-off forthcoming. Cardinals have their D partners of Connor Wang and Nick Schultz on the ice. Now the face-off is going to come to the left of Ingebretson from the right side of the ice from our vantage point. Now Thornburg battling Colton McClellan for possession here, and St. Michael-Albertville comes away with it. Here comes Volkanent up the right side, now into the offensive zone. Here's a shot by one of the defensemen, Wyatt Tower, and that got into traffic, and fortunately for Alexandria, the Cardinals come out with it, and now Grady Olson will fire from the left wall, airborne, and the glove save is going to be made here by Ingebretson, so we'll have another face-off in the St. Michael-Albertville zone.
I like it. Alexandria's gotten a lot of opportunities to get some shots. Get some shots right away. Crash that net for rebounds.
Now Hunter Haskamp will battle for the draw, and the Cardinals come away with it. It's Haskamp and his line mates Harlan Ream and Bennett Waldorf on the ice right now for the Cardinals as they try to control play in the offensive zone. A little more than 4 minutes gone by, and we are scoreless on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. Now here's a pass. Looks like Aaron Anderson actually getting some shift time here, joined by Harlan Ream and Hunter Haskamp. And now St. Michael-Albertville is going to work the puck the other way, and then we had a little extra shoving going on after the whistle, and play gets stopped, and we might have a player going off for each side here. Let's see if a couple of players will become spectators here. Yeah, I think we're going to have a little extracurricular activity, which is going to send Harlan Ream to the penalty box and Hunter Hansen to the penalty box. And again, cross-checking is going to be the violation. The time of these penalties will be 4:22.
A little trendsetter for the referee there. He's just going to not let this get out of hand right away.
Yep, so now still 5-on-5 hockey for both sides, but line combinations will switch up a little bit. Miles Breitzman trying to play it in front for Berg, and Berg tried to control it on his stick. Now he'll flick it over into the left corner. Now it's Evan Klimek trying to bring it out front, and it gets intercepted here as Wyatt Tupper will come the other way. Tupper is part of a forward line with Levi Antoine and Hunter Hansen, though Hansen's in the box right now, so I believe Tyler Bechtold is joining this forward line for the St. Michael-Albertville Knights. 5 minutes into tonight's game, it's still Alexandria nothing, St. Michael-Albertville nothing. Now Bechtold plays the puck back down deep. Defenseman Will Draper will track it down. He'll slide it along the right half wall. St. Michael-Albertville will play it back down low, trying to establish their offense in the Alexandria end. Now the Cardinals, Draper going for it. He'll send it over to Brolin McPhail. Now up ahead, and Alexandria will break out. Grady Olson up the left side. Nice diagonal pass toward Will Thornburg. Thornburg gets met along the wall. And now Owen Klimek battling for possession here for Alexandria. Now it's taken by Thornburg. He'll take the shot from a tough angle, and the save is going to be made. Now out front, Grady Olson fires, and that one goes a little bit wide. St. Michael-Albertville looking to get the puck out of the zone. Nick Schultz is going to keep it in, playing it down low here for Alexandria. No score as we move past 6 minutes, time elapsed in tonight's game. Connor Wang affecting Braden Waller, trying to move that puck the other way for St. Michael-Albertville. The Cardinals send it back the other way. Aaron Anderson now will look to keep it in the zone, delayed offside. Now the Cardinals do get back onside as St. Michael-Albertville look to try a stretch pass, but it's going to elude everybody, and that means a face-off coming up in the St. Michael-Albertville zone. 10:37 is our time remaining, and we are scoreless.
Yeah, interesting dynamic here, D-Mac. I wasn't even looking at the line chart the right way, but St. Michael-Albertville only dresses three forward lines, and an extra forward.
Right, so Sean Fish, the head coach of the Knights, kind of rotating 10 forwards through, whereas Alexandria does have 12 forwards available. The Knights work it in. Here's a shot by Braylon Machi, and the save is made by Schluter. Now it's going to be played around over into the left corner in the Alexandria zone. Cardinals will try to work the puck out, and it does come back to neutral ice. Owen Verness is going to send the puck over toward Caden Clark. Now up ahead into the offensive zone. Looks like the Tanner Esterberg, Braylon Machi, Owen Volkanen forward line is on the ice for the Knights here. Machi looking to jab the puck out of the zone. The Cardinals keep it in as Evan Klimek will try to slide it down inside. Now the Knights play it up to neutral ice, and now an odd player rush developing here. Here's a shot, a one-timer,
wow.
And oh, what a save!
Wow.
Oh my, Brady Schluter with a grade A+ save there as St. Michael-Albertville went on an odd man rush, and the last line of defense was able to save it for Alexandria. What an effort there by Brady Schluter.
Yeah, make all the ones you're supposed to and take a couple away. He just took one away right there.
So the face-off will come to the left of Schluter as Evan Klimek and Levi Antoine battle for possession. And the Knights are able to keep it in. Comes back out top, and here's a shot deflected in. And St. Michael-Albertville is going to score the first goal of the game.
There's really nothing you can do about that one. That was tipped. That was a great tip, by the way. I mean, he's a good 12, 15 feet from the net, and was able to tip that in just past Schluter.
It may be the junior Hunter Hansen getting the goal. That is correct. and 2 assists will be given on the play. 7 minutes, 30 seconds will be the time of the first period goal. So the visitors get on the board. Hansen with the score. Colton McClellan and Wyatt Tower will get the assists. So it is a 1-0 lead for the St. Michael-Albertville Knights. Alexandria will work the puck back into the Knights zone. Right now you've got Grady Olson handling the puck. It comes back out to Connor Wang. Wang will try to work inside into the slot area, and St. Michael-Albertville jams at the puck and regains control. Now it's Wyatt Tower getting it. It's crossing center ice. Now into the offensive zone. The puck gets played over to the left wall. Tower will try to track it down. Alexandria regains control. Here's Owen Klimek sending it ahead. Connor Wang will play it in deep as the Cardinals change personnel. Looks like the Aaron Anderson, Harlan Ream, Bennett Waldorf forward line on the ice right now. St. Michael-Albertville will work the puck back the other way. We're now midway through the first period. The visitors are on top 1-0. St. Michael-Albertville leading at Alexandria. Again, our scoreboard updates tonight being brought to you by Glenwood State Bank. We'll have a stoppage here as the goaltender Lucas Ingebrigtsen will pounce on the puck to make sure Alexandria doesn't get a shot.
Yeah, you know, Ingebrigtsen back there, it's probably a little bit by design with only playing 10 forwards. He's probably going to stop that and cover a little bit more than a typical 4-line team would.
So now the Knights bring the puck back into neutral ice. Here comes Easton Monahan up the right side, puts a shot on goal where Brady Schluter is able to make the save, and now another rebound coming into Schluter's direction, and he'll freeze the puck there and create a face-off in the Alexandria Cardinals zone. 8:06 remaining in the first period. It's Alexandria trailing the visiting St. Michael-Albertville Knights 1-0. Now the face-off will come to the right of the senior goaltender Brady Schluter for Alexandria. And you have Harlan Ream battling for the draw against Tyler Bechtold, and the Knights do win the draw. Leads to a shot for Dylan Fauché, and the save will be made and another face-off forthcoming.
That Lucas Ingebrigtsen, too, has a pretty good goalie coach there, Kyle Hayden, who played some goaltender here for the Alexandria Blizzard back in the day.
That's right. Not that long ago. I want to say about 5 years or so ago. Yep. And you know, nice to see some different Blizzard connections. I believe another assistant coach who's not in attendance tonight.
Yeah, Val.
Also was with the Alexandria Blizzard back in the latter part of the 2010s decade.
Now that's what you call a big defenseman, Val Poposky.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Now Alexandria looking to come back the other way, but the play is going to be stopped for offside. So neutral zone faceoff coming up. It's interesting, Jeff, you know, there are a lot of different, you know, Blizzard connections here. Braden Waller obviously has an older brother that's playing with the Alexandria Blizzard right now.
Yeah, Caleb has been pretty much a 3-year starter, and I mean, both of these kids, I know a little bit about Braden, and they're both dead-eye scorers. They like to score the puck, so.
Yeah, Braden Waller, just a junior this year. He actually leads, or he's tied for the lead in goals scored. He and Tanner Esterberg each have 9 goals this year for St. Michael-Albertville. The Knights are playing their 10th game of the year, so they're averaging a goal a game apiece. Now the Knights will work the puck back in. Alexandria trying to get out of its own zone, but the Knights gain control. Here's a shot by Volkanen that goes a little bit wide. St. Michael-Albertville controlling play in the offensive end. Centering pass intercepted. Now the Cardinals will break out. Here comes Will Thornburg looking to play it ahead toward Owen Klimek. And St. Michael-Albertville gets a deflection and plays it back the other way. Now Esterberg gets tied up, and we're going to have a shot and another deflection in. And St. Michael-Albertville goes on top by a 2-0 score.
It sure looked like it was tipped, but I think they're going to let
Clark, the shooter?
Yeah, let Clark go through the line, but it definitely looked like it changed directions right out in front of Schluter.
If it would be Caden Clark, it would be his 2nd goal of the year, but we'll wait and see for the confirmation here. Clark will get into the scoring act, and he will be credited with the goal. and 1 assist will be awarded, that being to senior Tanner Esterberg. For Esterberg, his team-leading 12th assist of the year. Caden Clark, his second goal of the year. And the Knights at the 10-14 mark of the hockey game take a 2-0 lead. Now the puck worked out of the St. Michael-Albertville zone back into the Alexandria end. Here's Nick Schultz gaining control, looking to chip it along the wall, but St. Michael-Albertville will keep it in. Schultz trying to slide it the other way, but Wyatt Tupper now has it for the Knights. Puck along the wall, and Alexandria regains control. Here comes Connor Wang working up the left side. Now Harlan Ream getting it to Schultz. And now the Knights intercept the pass and chip it out of the zone. And now Connor Wang bumps Wyatt Tupper, and that leads to Alexandria transitioning into the offensive zone. Here's a centering pass in front. Miles Breitzman trying to tip it in, but the tip goes a little bit wide. Now St. Michael-Albertville going the other way, and they get a forward, Tyler Bechtold, behind the Alexandria defense, but fortunately for the Cardinals, Bechtold got a little too deep and didn't get a clean shot at the net. 2-0 St. Michael-Albertville in front. We're reaching the late stages of the first period here inside Old National Bank Arena at the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center in Alexandria. It's Jeff James and yours truly, Dave McClurg, with the broadcast. JP Boline is our videographer tonight for our YouTube coverage. Alexandria 3-4 coming into this game. St. Michael-Albertville at 5-4 on the year. Now the Cardinals again trying to do some work getting the puck out of their own end, and it will be sent the other way, and I think the pass out of the zone went off. I don't know if it went off the bottom of the scoreboard or what, but we're going to have a face-off coming back in the Alexandria end.
It hit up there someplace because we heard the thud.
The Cardinals will have their forward line of Grady Olson, Will Thornburg, and Owen Klimek on the ice. I believe St. Michael-Albertville will counter with the Tanner Esterberg, Braylon Machi, Owen Volkanen forward line. And Alexandria able to gain possession of the draw. Thornburg racing up the right side. He'll fire, and a save is made by the goaltender Ingebretson. Now the Cardinals try to regain control. Puck off to the right of the goaltender right now and cleared over to the wall. Now St. Michael-Albertville will break out. Here's Braylon Machi sending it ahead to Tanner Esterberg, then back, and now a shot and a pluck out of the air by the goaltender Brady Schluter, as he'll end up making his 8th save of the opening period. And we'll have a face-off coming up in the Cardinals zone. 4:24 is our time remaining in the first period. It is St. Michael-Albertville 2, Alexandria no score. Now the puck back behind the Cardinals net, brought out front, and now Owen Verness tried to take a shot. That got blocked. Now a centering pass, and that got tipped away, I believe, by Will Draper over to the left wall. The Knights will keep it in as it's going to be played over to Verness. He'll fire across, and a one-timer. Wow. And another great save. Boy, I tell you, that's 2 excellent saves so far tonight. This time Braylon Machi got stopped by the senior netminder Brady Schluter.
Yeah, Brady's doing everything that he can back there right now, because those 2 goals were almost, unstoppable, I guess you could say, but he's taken at least 2 more away from St. Michael-Albertville right now.
Now the Cardinals are able to break out of the zone. Right now you've got Aaron Anderson, Harlan Ream, and Hunter Haskamp as your forwards on the ice here. And we've got a stoppage. I think we're going to have a cross-checking penalty coming up on St. Michael-Albertville. So this will mark the first power play of the night, and it's going to come at the 13:10 mark of the first period.
Here's a chance for Alexandria to really kind of, stop the momentum that the Knights have really come out with here in this first period.
Yep, the last time we were here for a broadcast, Alexandria's lone goal was scored on the power play. St. Michael-Albertville will play the puck back to the other end. Alexandria starts the power play with Grady Olson, Will Thornburg, Evan Klimek, Brody Berg, and defenseman Connor Wang. St. Michael-Albertville for penalty kill has Hunter Hansen and Levi Antoine as the two forwards on the ice. Couple of defensemen out there as well for the visitors. I believe one of them is Colton McClellan, and the second defenseman is Wyatt Tower. Again, the Knights play the puck back the other way. Alexandria looking to come back in, and Will Thornburg gets the puck to Grady Olson, trying to center in front for Berg, but that went off the side of the net. Berg will send it over to the right side, now back out to the point. Wang is going to send it over to Grady Olson, firing to the short side, and the puck went off the side of the net. Then it comes back around, and St. Michael-Albertville's Hunter Hansen will intercept, and he'll backhand a pass back to the other end. We're a little more than a minute into the Alexandria power play, down to about 50 seconds remaining in that player advantage. About 2.5 minutes remaining in the first period, with St. Michael-Albertville leading the Cardinals 2-0. Now Alexandria sets things up again. Aaron Anderson at the point fires. That got blocked, and St. Michael-Albertville will clear it out of the zone. Right now you've got Anderson, Nick Schultz, along with Aiden Schneiderhan on the ice, Miles Breitzman, and Owen Klemick. Again, St. Michael-Albertville will intercept a pass in neutral ice and play it back the other way. Cardinals have about 15 seconds on the power play. Pass up ahead toward Breitzman, broken up. Now Nick Schultz has it. He'll bring it into the St. Michael-Albertville zone. He'll have it at the point. Now he'll look to fire down to Miles Breitzman, but his one-timer went off target. Back out top as St. Michael-Albertville gets to full strength, and now Aaron Anderson had the opportunity to fire a shot, but kind of fanned on it. Gets the puck back. Now looks to feed it across, and it's intercepted. And now St. Michael-Albertville's coming the other way. Braden Waller working it into the zone. Now it's out top to Easton Monahan. Now it goes over into the right corner. About a minute and a half remaining in the first period. Alexandria down by a couple of goals. Owen Volkanen comes back out top. His shot attempt got deflected out of play, and a faceoff will be coming up in the Alexandria Cardinals' end.
Just, having those power plays and not being able to get a lot of momentum off of them can actually sometimes kind of have the adverse effect, and it looks like the Knights have come out just soaring again here.
And now the puck won by St. Michael-Albertville on the draw. Volkanen will send it over to Colton McClellan. McClellan at the point, now working it over toward the right side to Tower. To Volkanen, he'll fire. That one goes a little bit wide. Now we're into the last minute of play in the opening period with St. Michael-Albertville on the road, leading by 2 goals. Now here's a shot and a save made by Schluter. He gets sprawled on the ice here. St. Michael-Albertville looking to bring it back out front. The Knights gain control again as a backhanded attempt to clear the zone, unsuccessful by Alexandria. And the Knights continue to apply the forecheck. Now here's the centering pass broken up by the Cardinals' Harlan Ream, and he'll play it back out to neutral ice. Down to about a half minute remaining here in the period. Defenseman Will Draper will go back to play it for the Alexandria Cardinals. Now St. Michael-Albertville intercepts. Here's a shot across the crease area by Levi Antoine that went into the corner. Now back out to neutral ice. Just a few seconds remaining in the opening period, and it looks like St. Michael-Albertville will carry a 2-goal advantage into the first period intermission as the horn sounds. Again, a good start for the visitors. A team that is on a roll right now. St. Michael-Albertville has won 4 consecutive games, and through 17 minutes of this one, the Knights are leading the Alexandria Cardinals by a score of 2-0. For our late media platform viewers and or listeners in the audience, our Eldon's Fresh Foods mid-game report will come up later in the 8 o'clock hour. We'll have that between the the second and third periods of tonight's game. But we're going to take a break here. JJ and I will be back to talk a little bit about how the first period unfolded after these words on KXRA Radio and through the Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. I'm looking for experienced, hardworking people to join my company. When you work for us, you'll be home every night, no overnight hotels. Give me a call and visit my website because we're hiring and we want to talk to you about your next career with us.
Life can sometimes feel like you're navigating through construction. You hit a detour, run out of gas, or you're going the wrong way on a one-way street. But Lakeland Mental Health Center is here to help you get back to the right path. Visit lmhc.org. Help today for a better tomorrow.
Where you start today is not where you'll finish tomorrow. At Alexandria College, we know you have big plans for the future. Find your calling and be a legend.
Dentistry at the Center knows all about busy schedules, and that's one of the best things about having 3 dentists. We have more appointment times available, so we can see you sooner. So, for dentist appointments to fit your schedule better, come see the friendly folks at Dentistry at the Center.
I'm a nurse at heart. I mean, I went into this to take care of other people.
What we say as nurses and as teammates matters here.
Come on over, you'll love it. You will get to experience so many things and help many people.
Cardinals fans, did you know that Cenex Midtown Express has a gas pump designated to support Alexandria Public Schools? For each gallon purchased, 2 cents will be donated to the schools. Pump up your pride at Cenex, your local hometown choice in Alexandria and Garfield. Owned by the community, supporting the community. As the seasons change, so do the needs of your car. That's when Alexandria drivers turn to Mike and Josh at Precision Auto. From simple tune-ups to major repairs, trust a pro. Precision Auto on 8th and Nokomis, Alexandria.
Trum Drug has things in every aisle that you won't find anywhere else, and many of them are made right here in Minnesota. Stop in and grab something for yourself, a friend, or family. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
If you haven't experienced all new Woodies, you're missing out on the best clean in town.
We installed all new equipment and high suction vacuum service,
but kept our personalized touch with our pre-wash and hand drying service.
Get your shine on
at Woody's Car Wash in the heart of downtown Alexandria.
Welcome back to the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center and our first period intermission update. Boys hockey is what you're enjoying tonight on KXRA Radio and also through the Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube. Right now, the visiting St. Michael-Albertville Knights have a 2-0 lead over Alexandria as the Knights got the scoring underway a little more than 7 minutes into the hockey game. And Jeff James, it just seems like after St. Michael-Albertville was able to break the ice, the Knights, in my mind, seemed to control play throughout the remainder of that first period, and then obviously adding another goal. But I tell you, Brady Schluter, to his credit, has really made a couple of quality saves in this game. He's got 10 saves in the first 17 minutes of the game, but it's not a big stretch to say that had it not been for Brady Schluter's work, this could actually be a 4-0 lead for the Knights.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I think Alexandria, they came out, they did the right things, but a couple of bounces that don't go your way, and it just really seemed like the tables or the ice really tilted towards Schluter. And, you know, this is what you can expect from Section 8 AA teams. They're going to come out and if you're not ready, they're going to, you know, figuratively punch you in the mouth, and you got to be ready to stand in there and take those and then deal out some of your own. And Alexandria, I have no doubt, will come out in the second period and they will they'll up the energy. But yeah, stay out of the box, continue to do what you're doing. I don't know that I don't feel like they played a bad game, but you're really going to have to take advantage of those opportunities that you get to put the puck in the back of the net.
You know, I'm not always best at following the script necessarily, and the Alexandria Motors is the presenting sponsor of our Keys to the Game, and it would be apropos to share this information before the game gets underway, but sometimes, you know, as I once learned in the Spanish language, más vale tarde que nunca, which means better late than never. And, you know, some of the things that Dr. Landon Olson talked about, you know, play a complete game, win some races to the puck, and be disciplined. I think in some ways his team has satisfied some of those boxes to be checked. One that didn't get checked, score the first goal of the game, and that's what his players felt that they wanted to do. And obviously they didn't reach that goal, but yet there's still plenty of time to launch a comeback. Meanwhile, for St. Michael-Albertville, I think the Alexandria Motors keys to tonight, kind of continue to, play a little bit of a disciplined game of themselves, not get bogged down by making a road trip or anything like that. And I would guess that Coach Fish has to be feeling pretty good about what he saw through the first 17 minutes. His goaltender, Lucas Engebretson, did make all 5 saves that he saw in the first period. But again, we still have a lot of hockey to be played.
Absolutely, and that's the key here, is that you have to play 51 minutes. That you can't let down. You let down, in some of those games that we used to play, in the A level, and that can get you by. It's just not going to cut it in AA hockey. So Alexandria, I have no doubt though that they're maybe getting an earful in the locker room saying, hey, we got to stick to what we do. And those bounces are going to come for us as well, like they were for the Knights in the first period, but we have to keep the pressure on in order for that to happen.
Scoring recap to this point, again, St. Michael-Albertville has both goals. Hunter Hansen got the Knights on the board at the 7:30 mark of the hockey game. His 4th goal of the year. 2 assists were credited on the play. 1 to Colton McClellan, his 3rd helper, and Wyatt Tower, also his 3rd helper. And then a little less than 3 minutes later, St. Michael-Albertville added to the lead. Defenseman Caden Clark, who is a double-digit scorer this year, but a lot of his points have come on assists. He got his 2nd goal of the year, and Tanner Esterberg got the 1 assist, and that was Esterberg's 12th assist of the year. Tanner Esterberg, a senior captain for St. Michael-Albertville, now has 21 points in the Knights' 10th game of the year. There were 2 minor penalties for 4 minutes for St. Michael-Albertville and 1 minor penalty for 2 minutes for Alexandria. You had coincidental cross-checking minors at 4:22 that sent the Cardinals' Harlan Ream to the box, and it also sent St. Michael-Albertville's Hunter Hansen to the box. And then later the Knights had a cross-checking penalty assessed to Braylon Machi, but St. Michael-Albertville was able to kill off Alexandria's power play there. 12 shots on goal for St. Michael-Albertville in the first 17 minutes. Alexandria had 5. So Brady Schluter has 10 saves so far tonight, while his counterpart, the Knights' Lucas Engebretson, has 5 saves. So it is a 2-0 advantage for St. Michael-Albertville. The second period is on the horizon. Again, the Eldon's Fresh Foods mid-game report will follow the second period of tonight's varsity boys hockey game. Now on our late media platforms, including KXRA Radio and the Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube, let's enjoy these messages from our boosters of Cardinal sports coverage.
Who do you turn to if you or a loved one is experiencing a mental health crisis? We're here. Region 4 South Mobile Crisis Team will come to you by calling 701-364-0431.
Fresh, family, locally loved. Eldon's Fresh Foods. Eldon's Fresh Foods.
For over 30 years, Northland Buildings has been providing quality post-frame buildings to customers, serving clients across the upper Midwest since 1994. Northland Buildings. Quality buildings built tough for the Northland.
Northland Buildings.
I just get a great satisfaction when I hear the relief in a customer's voice that they've been helped. They always feel it's an inconvenience when they call us. It's like, it's never an inconvenience. We love helping our customers.
At Viking Bank, we're invested in your journey.
Resorts Marine in Oseques. Check us out for new and used boats, pontoons, UTVs, and golf carts. For the whole outdoors, shop us first, shop us last, just shop us. Resorts Marine and Outdoors in Oseques.
Why do I bank at First Western? Easy. They take care of their customers.
First Western. You can bank on us.
What's your number?
We drove 25 miles to get a great deal at Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Being locally owned here at the Culvers of Alexandria, Charles Johnson and myself, John Loomis, are very proud to be a part of the community. We enjoy the time we get to spend here, the memories we've made, and we're excited to see you after the game when you need to refuel.
Go Cardinals!
Better water starts with EcoWater. Get started today and discover EcoWater's products and expertise for the perfect solution. Visit WeFixWaterMN.com with offices in Alexandria, Fergus Falls, Glenwood, and Morris.
I know you're not able to encounter it on the YouTube channel, but as the radio audience is tuning in, we have what's called bumper music to come out of the breaks, and I was kind of tapping the feet a little bit there to Jacob Dillon and the Wallflowers. One headlight. You go back to about 25 years or so for that one. Jacob is the son of Bob Dylan, who ironically is going to be coming back to his home state in March. He'll have a concert down in Rochester, Minnesota, in the latter part of March.
Will you take part?
I will not. I don't believe. I'm not the biggest of Bob Dylan fans. I do appreciate some of his works. Probably my favorite Bob Dylan song is "Lay Lady Lay." It's kind of a ballad. Our classic rock station KX92 does not have that on the playlist. Maybe I need to bother the program director, who's about 30 feet away from where I'm standing right now, and kind of give him the business for that.
I know that you two have seen a lot of concerts. Do you think he'll partake?
He might.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised. He does. He does enjoy blues and a lot of different genres. I'm kind of the same way. I won't go see any rap performances. Probably won't see a lot of classical stuff, but if you were to offer me a ticket when the Trans-Siberian Orchestra either comes through Fargo-Moorhead or goes through the Twin Cities, I would probably bite on those.
There you go.
And, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, they're a combination a little bit classical, but then some rock. It's kind of the electric guitars and everything.
There we go.
So we got a couple of minutes before the start of the second period. It allows us to expand our culture vulture wings here. But who would you want to have tickets to go see if you had the opportunity to see any entertainer of your choice?
Yeah, but see, this is going to be boring because I know this isn't going to be your kind of music, but I would be really into seeing Shinedown or Creed, which they're still, they're touring right now, so I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. But
are they coming into the Midwest at all in the forthcoming year ahead? Or?
Well, Shinedown was here, and then I know the closest one that I was looking at for Creed was down in Omaha here recently, but I missed out on them. I'll have to pull the trigger some other time, but those would be some of mine right now.
Very good. So, yeah, I've been fortunate enough. Ironically, the first ever performer I saw in concert, Richard Marx, is coming back to the Minnesota State Fair on September 1st. He is the opening act, and Rod Stewart is the headliner that night.
I did see Richard Marx in Aberdeen back a long time ago with
Probably
Alias.
Oh, boy, that is going back a ways. So. And now, was Alias the opening act that night?
They were the opening act, yep.
Yeah, I tell you, Richard Marx, he had a lot of hits in the late 80s and early 90s. Don't Mean Nothing,
right.
Endless Summer Nights, Angelia. One of my favorite songs of Richard Marx is Hazard. Talking about a town in Nebraska and, some of the, but personally, I think he's a great songwriter, and he eventually stopped writing songs for other artists and decided to write songs for himself.
That's good.
But, the Minnesota State Fair lineup already starting to build in terms of its performers. But Richard Marx and Rod Stewart will be at the Minnesota State Fair grandstand on September 1st. Remember, the Minnesota State Fair is a late start this year. August 27th will be the opening day because Labor Day this coming year is as late as it can be. Monday, September 7th. So I don't know if that means a longer summer break for the students.
I don't
or
either.
not.
That's strange because it almost seems like everything's going to be pushed back a week then.
Right. So we've got 5-on-5 hockey. St. Michael-Albertville will now be the team flowing right to left if you're watching on our YouTube channel. And you've got Evan Klimek and Tyler Bechtold battling for the face-off draw. And the Cardinals will work the puck into the Knight zone. And right away, Alexandria seems to have a little bit of buzz in the step here. But now St. Michael-Albertville works the puck out. Evan Klimek will locate it, but then it's chipped into the Cardinals' end, where defenseman Brolin McPhail will try to get it. But now the Cardinals turn it over. That leads to a shot and a save here for goaltender Brady Schluter. And now the Cardinals clear the zone. St. Michael-Albertville has defenseman Owen Verness and Caden Clark on the ice right now. Their forward line out on the ice at the moment includes Easton Monahan, Tyler Bechtold, and Braden Waller. Now Alexandria working it back in. Here's a shot for Will Thornburg, and a save is made. Thornburg partnering up with Grady Olson and Owen Klimek tonight. And now here's Grady Olson playing the puck back in to the Knight zone. 2-0 St. Michael-Albertville with the lead. We're early in the second period. Now battle along the wall, and the Knights come away with it. Here's a pass sent back into the neutral zone for Tanner Esterberg. Nick Schultz bothering him, and Schultz will work the puck back into the St. Michael-Albertville end, but the Knights will go back to retreat. Here's Easton Monahan playing it up ahead. Now for Tanner Esterberg, and then it gets redirected. And now it's going to be taken here by defenseman Clark. He'll play it up into the Alexandria zone. Schluter's going to play it over toward the left half wall. Now the Cardinals will chip it back into neutral ice. We have played nearly 2 minutes of this second period. Alexandria still down by a pair. It's St. Michael-Albertville 2, Alexandria no score. Now the Cardinals work it out of their zone. And now a puck hits a St. Michael-Albertville player before the Knights could clear the zone. So we'll have a neutral zone face-off. Looks like the Cardinals are going to have the forward line of Bennett Waldorf and Hunter Haskamp on the ice. And I believe it's also Harlan Ream out on the ice, joined by defensive partners Aiden Schneiderhan and Rogan Anderson. Puck comes back into the Cardinals' end. Schneiderhan will play it over toward the left wall. Now Anderson has it. Up now to Bennett Waldorf, then across now to Harlan Ream. Cardinals will sweep it back into the Knight zone. Racing forward is Hunter Haskamp, but St. Michael-Albertville is able to work it up and to the wall, but it's kept in. Bennett Waldorf will skate in, takes a shot, and a save is made by Ingebretson. Now the puck right along the wall. St. Michael-Albertville looking to play it out, but the Cardinals will do some work in the offensive end. It gets cycled around. Now the Knights' Levi Antoine will get to it. He'll send it up to Hunter Hansen into the Alexandria zone, and a wrist shot saved here by the goaltender Brady Schluter. Now up to 12 saves in tonight's game.
You know, much the start of the first period is we're seeing here in the second. Back and forth, both teams throwing some good scoring chances up on the board here. Alexandria just needs to continue to really focus on this and do as much as they can to make sure Ingebretson sees as much rubber as he can in this period.
Face-off is going to be controlled by St. Michael-Albertville, and here's the centering pass, and nobody in front to receive it, so it goes back to neutral ice. This is People Radio, KXRA Alexandria, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, 105.7 FM, audio through the Voice of Alexandria app. Thanks for watching tonight on the Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube. Jackson is our KXRA radio studio engineer back at Master Control, along with videographer J.P. Boleen and my broadcast partner Jeff James. Dave McClurg, hoping you and yours are having a very happy holiday season. Thank you for joining us tonight. Alexandria works into the St. Michael-Albertville zone, and a save gets made by Ingebretson, and he is now up to 3 saves this period, 8 on the night, and will have a face-off in the Knight zone. Owen Klimek will battle for the draw against Owen Volkanant. And the Cardinals come away with it. Brady Olson trying to play it toward Will Thornburg, and it got deflected over into the left corner. Now the Knights will work it around. Here is Caden Clark sending it up the ice. It'll come the other way, and it eluded everybody. And the pass went wide of the goal, and Brady Schluter saw that we might get an icing call, so he decided not to touch the puck. And another face-off coming up in St. Michael-Albertville's end. And once again, you're going to have Volkanent and Owen Klimek battling for the draw here. Face-off, and Grady Olson could not get his shot on goal. The Knights will chip it out, and again, it's going to go the other way, and I think we're going to have yet another icing call. This is almost like rinse, wash, and repeat here.
Yeah.
Not by design. I don't think the Knights players are necessarily fatigued. It's just that their chip passes has been eluding everybody.
You know, and if you're a team that's going to play 10 forwards in AA hockey, I guarantee you've conditioned for that.
The face-off won by the Alexandria Cardinals. Grady Olson coming in, and he has a shot that gets saved by the goaltender Ingebrigtsen. Again, Quality Real Estate bringing you our instant replays on the YouTube channel. Alexandria able to win that draw, and then coming back to get a walk-in attempt. Now the Cardinals will keep the Owen Klimek, Grady Olson, Will Thornburg line on the ice. Aiden Schneiderhan and Rogan Anderson are the D partners out there as well. St. Michael-Albertville wins the draw, and the Knights play it out of the zone. Hunter Hansen kind of overskated the puck just a little bit, and Alexandria regains control. 2-0 St. Michael-Albertville. We're now 4 minutes into this second period. Will Thornburg is going to come in. His shot got tipped by the goaltender and played back behind the net. Now it's going to be coming the other way for St. Michael-Albertville. Back into Alexandria's zone, but it's going to be sent out of the zone by Schneiderhan. Now to work back in by St. Michael-Albertville. The Knights have their forward line of Levi Antoine, Hunter Hansen, and Wyatt Tupper on the ice, joined by defensive partners Colton McClellan and Wyatt Tower. Alexandria regains control. We've got a puck that does get tipped off the stick of Grady Olson, but crossed the center line and then went to the other end untouched. So icing will be the call, and now we'll have a face-off coming up in the Alexandria Cardinals zone with 12:17 to go, second period.
And the other thing with Ingebrigtsen down there too, D-Mac, he's done a really good job of holding on to a lot of pucks, putting any rebounds into the corner. So he knows what he needs to do when it comes to having 10 forwards.
Now the battle for the face-off. The Knights initially had possession, but Nick Schultz comes away with it. He's going to send it up, and it's going to be Aaron Anderson playing it into the St. Michael-Albertville end, but now it comes back the other way, and it'll be cycled around by the goaltender, Brady Schluter. Anderson gets it out beyond the blue line, back to neutral ice. Aaron Anderson, Hunter Haskamp, and Harlan Ream are the forwards on the ice right now, joined by defensive partners Connor Wang and Nick Schultz. Nick Schultz sends a player to the ice. Now a shot whistled a little bit wide off the stick of Dylan Fauché. And now here's a rebound attempt, and Braden Waller will put it in for St. Michael-Albertville, and the visitors take a 3-0 lead.
You have to watch those Wallers. They'll shoot from anywhere.
So the time of this second period goal will be 5 minutes and 32 seconds. Braden Waller now takes the goal scoring lead for his team. It's his 10th of the year, and 2 assists on the play to his line mates, Tyler Bechtold and Easton Monahan. So the time of that goal, 5 minutes, 32 seconds of the second period. Braden Waller, whose older brother plays for the Alexandria Blizzard hockey team. Braden scores his 10th goal of the year, and St. Michael-Albertville now has a 3-0 lead. And now play resumes as the puck worked back into the Alexandria end. Now here is Tanner Esterberg sending it out top to Clark. Clark will fire that one into traffic. Now a scramble off to the left to goaltender Schluter, and the puck gets fed over to the left half wall. Now the Cardinals come away with it. Possible odd man rush up the left side. Here's a shot and a goal! Evan Klimek decided to take it himself, and he finds the back of the net. And Alexandria is on the board here in the second period. Now trailing St. Michael-Albertville 3-1.
And those are the opportunities, D-Mac, that you have to take advantage of. Those 2-on-1s, you know, Clark had the pass taken away. Evan Klemic did what he does and what he needed to do. He beat the goaltender from the Knights and just took some of that momentum away.
So the Alexandria Cardinals are on the board. It'll be an unassisted goal for Evan Klemic at 6:14 of the second. For Evan Klemic, his 4th goal of the year, and it is now 3-1 in favor of St. Michael-Albertville. Now the Cardinals go back into their own end, looking to get a diagonal pass up toward Grady Olson. He'll send it up into neutral ice for Owen Klemic and then back the other way. Defenseman Colton McClellan will retrieve it for St. Michael-Albertville. Playing it up, and now a turnover here. Grady Olson has it and fires on goal, and a save is made. Quality Real Estate bringing you the instant replay, and it seems like that last score has given Alexandria a little bit of momentum here, JJ.
A little bit of jump, a little bit of life back in the skates there for Alexandria. And they need to continue to just pound on, you know, I'm a big believer in playing it deep and really making that defense work to get it out of the zone.
Grady Olson will battle Tyler Bechtold for the face-off draw to the right of the goaltender Ingebretson, and Alexandria controls it. It comes across. Nick Schultz looking to control. He'll fire on net. Save is made. Rebound out to Will Thornburg. He'll take the wrist shot. Save made. St. Michael-Albertville clears. The Cardinals keep it in. Schultz back toward Grady Olson. The puck tipped over along the wall. 3-1, St. Michael-Albertville in front as we approach the midpoint of the hockey game. Here's a shot and another goal! Connor Wang will score for Alexandria, and the Cardinals draw to within 1. Now it's St. Michael-Albertville 3, Alexandria 2.
That's the juice you need right there. Keep riding the high, boys. Just keep firing that puck.
Connor Wang with the goal at the 7:12 mark. Will Thornburg will get the assist. For Thornburg, his 2nd helper of the year, and for Connor Wang, his 2nd goal of the year. So Alexandria has now scored back-to-back tallies in less than a minute of game time, and things seem to be tightening up dramatically now as the Knights' lead is down to 1 goal at 3-2. Now the Cardinals again work the puck into the St. Michael-Albertville end. Now it's going to be played out. Here's a pass ahead. Tanner Esterberg fires one. Schluter deflects it over the net, over into the right corner. Now Clark will look to fire. Blocker save there by Schluter. And then centering attempt intercepted here. Bennett Waldorf will redirect it the other way to Aaron Anderson. Aaron Anderson fires. Save made by Ingebretson. Puck cleared over to the wall. Now the Cardinals will look to keep it in, but St. Michael-Albertville tips it off an Alexandria player's stick. Now we come back the other way, and a good poke by Alexandria. Harlan Reams going to send it ahead toward Aaron Anderson, but puck a little bit too wide off his stick, and Caden Clark will send it back to neutral ice. Under 9 minutes to go in the second, and play will be stopped due to offside, and we'll have a neutral zone face-off forthcoming.
Alexandria is doing all the right things right now, though. They're just really tough to play against, and that's what you have to do. You have to be tough to play against every shift out there. Just working hard, doing the right things, doing what you do, and I think that's a big change from the first period.
Evan Klemic battling for the draw against Hunter Hansen, and the Knights come away with it, but I think we're going to have offside on St. Michael-Albertville, so a face-off outside of the Cardinals' blue line. Shots on goal this period now 10 for Alexandria, and barely half of the second period. St. Michael-Albertville has 6 shots on goal. 3-2, the Knights have the lead. 8:39 to go in the second period. D-Mac and JJ, Jeff James bringing you the play-by-play. Here is St. Michael-Albertville's Dylan Fauché working in. Tried a backhanded centering pass. That got broken up. Fauché trying to relocate the puck. Evan Klemic trying to chip it ahead, and now it's going to be chipped ahead and clearing the zone here. Getting to it is Evan Klemic up the center of the ice off to Miles Breitzman. Slides one toward the net. That got steered away by the goaltender Ingebretson. Now a centering attempt in front. St. Michael-Albertville will intercept, and the Knights come the other way. Possible 3-on-2. Here's Hansen in. Backhander. Save made by Brady Schluter. Now a wraparound, and that's saved by Schluter. Puck over along the left wall in the corner. The Cardinals come away with it, and Rogan Anderson's going to fire it the other way, and that's going to create an icing, and a face-off will be forthcoming in the Alexandria Cardinals zone. 7:46 is our time remaining in the second. St. Michael-Albertville jumped off to a 3-0 lead, but it's tightened up as the Knights lead 3-2.
Sometimes you just need to relieve that pressure, right, D-Mac? And that's the benefit of not having no change on icing in high school hockey.
Face-off between Tyler Bechtold and Grady Olson, and the Cardinals come away with it. Here comes Grady Olson up the left side, firing toward goaltender Ingebrigtsen. That got steered over into the corner. Now the Cardinals trying to do some work, but St. Michael-Albertville will regain control. Puck bounces into the neutral ice area. Taking it now is Caden Clark for the Knights. He'll send it over to Owen Verness, his defensive partner. Now the Cardinals will keep it in as a pass gets intercepted. Owen Klimek will slide it down low. 3-2, St. Michael-Albertville in front in varsity boys hockey. We're in the second period with almost 10 minutes gone in the frame. Now the Cardinals work in onside, looking to come through Connor Wang, but the puck got knocked off his stick, sent back to neutral ice. Cardinals get back onside as Bennett Waldorf will send it toward the goaltender Ingebrigtsen, who makes the save. Now a scramble here, and the puck comes back out. Nick Schultz has it, he'll fire, and that got blocked. And it's a race the other way for Braden Waller. Waller in, backhander, save made. And again, Brady Schluter comes through with an A-plus save. That's now 3 times tonight. St. Michael-Albertville has had a golden opportunity to score, and the Knights get denied, so it remains a 1-goal separation.
I tell you what, he's doing everything that he possibly can to keep Alexandria in this game, because like we've said, it could have easily been an additional 3 goals here for the Knights.
Off the faceoff, Tanner Esterberg's shot gets saved by Schluter. Now a centering attempt. One-timer got broken up. Bennett Waldorf gets it ahead now to Hunter Haskamp. Haskamp up to the blue line and back into the St. Michael-Albertville zone. Now the puck cleared back to neutral ice. The Cardinals get back onside and dump the puck back in. Right now you've got Brolin McPhail and Will Draper as your defense on the ice, along with forwards Brody Berg, Miles Breitzman, and Evan Klimek. Cardinals seeking that tying goal, down 3-2 here in the second. Now Breitzman digging for the puck, and now the Cardinals come away with it. Backhander save made. Berg turns around, shoots it just a little bit wide. He was kind of stumbling as he was trying to get that shot off. Now St. Michael-Albertville comes the other way. The Knights Esberg will feed it off. Now a centering attempt, and the one-timer goes a little bit wide after Raylan Machi sent it to his line mate Tanner Esterberg, and Alexandria will end up icing the puck. 5:24 is our time remaining here in period number 2. Good hockey game tonight on the final one before Christmas for these teams, as Alexandria is trailing, but right now it's just a 1-goal St. Michael-Albertville lead at 3-2. Face-off will be coming to the left of the goaltender Brady Schluter. Levi Antoine and Grady Olson battling for the draw, and the Knights win it, and a shot gets taken on goaltender Schluter, who ends up making the glove save. Schluter now up to unofficially 20 saves in tonight's game. St. Michael-Albertville has outshot Alexandria to this point 23-18. Now off the draw, the Knights will control the puck, gets back behind the net, and now Owen Klimek trying to defend against Wyatt Tupper, and now the Cardinals looking to gain control of the puck. Here is Will Thornburg. He went down to the ice, and now the Cardinals try to get it out of the slot area. Now St. Michael-Albertville will try to feed it toward the goal again, and now we've got a puck that comes across, and now it'll be steered into the corner. 3-2, St. Michael-Albertville with the lead. We're in the second period, now under 5 minutes remaining until intermission. Cardinals looking to set things up. Aiden Schneiderhan is going to send it over toward Grady Olson. He'll send it up the ice toward Will Thornburg. It got tipped off his stick. Now through neutral ice. Colton McClellan will gain control. He'll send it across now toward Wyatt Tower and then back into the Cardinals' end. Now the Cardinals will end up clearing the puck the other way, and we'll have an icing call, face-off forthcoming in the Alexandria zone.
Physical play is picked up here a little bit here in the second period too. Probably a little frustration from the Knights, feeling like they had this one kind of in control. But Alexandria knows that that's part of their game plan. They have to put bodies to bodies and make things happen.
Tyler Bechtold and Hunter Haskamp will battle for the draw. St. Michael-Albertville gains control as Owen Verness tries to play it along the wall. Now it's back in the left corner. Braden Waller trying to bring it out front, and now the Cardinals regain control. Now some play along the wall. Here comes Bennett Waldorf up ahead into the St. Michael-Albertville zone. Cardinals looking to set up. Here's a wrist shot that got steered wide. Long rebound off the back wall, and St. Michael-Albertville will play it to the sidewall. Now into neutral ice, Connor Wang jabbing for the puck, and then it gets chipped into the stands, and we'll have play stopped here. 3:39 to go in the second. St. Michael-Albertville leading Alexandria by a score of 3-2. And right now you'll have on the ice for the Alexandria Cardinals, Brody Berg, Evan Klimek and Miles Breitzman, joined by Nick Schultz and Connor Wang as the two defensemen. Face-off is battled for, and the Cardinals come away with it. Here is Evan Klimek having the puck off his stick. Now Owen Volkanen will come back the other way. Here's the centering attempt, and the puck finds its way to the glove of the goaltender Brady Schluter. He'll stop it, creating a face-off now in the Alexandria zone. Don't forget, coming up after period number 2, we'll have our mid-game report presented to you on our late media platforms by Eldon's Fresh Foods in Alexandria. Face off to the left of the goaltender Schluter. The Cardinals are able to play it out of the zone. Possible odd man rush. Here's Berg dropping it off, but the pass a little bit behind Miles Breitzman. Now Brody Berg will dig for the puck along the back wall. Now Evan Klimek trying to join in as well, but St. Michael-Albertville comes away with it. Here's Tanner Esterberg, and he got spun around, kind of tumbled to the ice trying to draw a penalty, but to no avail. The Knights end up icing the puck, and we'll have a face-off coming up. We have had no infractions here in the first 14 minutes of the second period. Minor penalties assessed on both teams in the opening period. 2 minors for 4 minutes for St. Michael-Albertville, 1 minor for 2 minutes for Alexandria. All of the 5 goals scored tonight are even strength scores. 3-2, St. Michael-Albertville has the lead at Alexandria. Will Thornburg gains control of the puck. Off to Grady Olson, and Grady's gonna score, and we're tied.
Wow.
Oh my.
Again, just getting that puck deep, making yourselves really hard to play against, putting pressure on that defensive core from the Knights, getting those turnovers or passes out front and burying it. That's what Alexandria needs to do, and that's what they've done to get themselves right back in this game.
So Will Thornburg able to win the draw, and he gets it. Nice pass to Grady Olson, and Olson scores the equalizer. I would like to make that goal scoring our Culver's play of tonight's game. Okay, executive decision for you, JJ. Do you give it to Will Thornburg for the assist or Grady for the score?
Well, I think you got to give it to the hard work down there that Thornburg did.
Yeah, he's assisted on the last 2 goals, so I'm going to side with Will Thornburg here. So Thornburg on the helper will get the Culver's play of tonight's game, and Alexandria has come back from 3 goals down to now level the game. It's 3-3 on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. Grady Olson, by the way, with the goal at 14:07, scoring his 2nd goal of the year. And Will Thornburg now has 3 assists, including 2 in tonight's game. Now Alexandria regains control. Puck chipped out. Race the other way. Harlan Reams going to track it down. Backhander, save made. Rebound against a wide open net, but it is going to be steered aside. Oh, the Cardinals nearly grabbed the lead for the first time tonight. St. Michael-Albertville looking to regroup, but Cardinals putting on some pressure in the offensive zone now. Now Aiden Schneiderhan will look to play it along the wall in the offensive end. He'll chip it into the direction of Aaron Anderson. Out front for Hunter Haskamp. Puck got knocked down as it's cleared away. Cardinals will keep it in. Now it's back down low. 90 seconds remaining in the period. Connor Wang takes the shot. That's into traffic. Now the Knights will clear it back out of the zone. Wang's going to send it over toward Aiden Schneiderhan. Now Schneiderhan will feed it back into the St. Michael-Albertville end. And back to retrieve the puck is Wyatt Tower for the Knights. Lead pass ahead. It eluded everybody, and icing is going to be the call. Seemed like we had a couple of extra seconds before the whistle finally blew, although the official threw the hand up, indicating a stoppage there, and the face-off will come in the St. Michael-Albertville zone. 1:07 remains in the second period. The numbers on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard at the moment have Alexandria and St. Michael-Albertville tied 3-3. Off the face-off, Connor Wang looks to fire toward the net. That got deflected. Now here is Evan Klimek. He and Brody Berg trying to do some work along the wall. St. Michael-Albertville will send a rink-wide pass back to neutral ice. Now here comes Braden Waller up the left side. Takes the shot off the side of the net into the blocker of the goaltender Schluter, who will make the save.
There are some quick kids out here on this ice. Both ways, they are just flying here still at the end of the second period.
Well, I think you kind of advised our viewers and audience ahead of time, as we do have a penalty coming up here on the Alexandria Cardinals. You said if you're in the stands tonight, be prepared. You might have to strain your neck a little bit by seeing all the back and forth action. So Nick Schultz is going to be off for slashing at 16:14 of the second period. So now St. Michael-Albertville will operate on the power play for the first time tonight. And we'll get the players on the ice for the teams. Braden Waller feeds it down low. Tough angle shot by the Knights. Went off the side of the net. St. Michael-Albertville is unable to keep it in. Will Thornburg and Owen Klimek are the forwards. You've got Connor Wang and Aiden Schneiderhan as your D partners. St. Michael-Albertville has Easton Monahan on the ice. Braden Waller along with Tyler Bechtold as part of this power play. Also, I believe Owen Verness is on the ice along with Caden Clark. Now the puck sent back in, and the horn sounds ending the second period. So the power play opportunity for St. Michael-Albertville will carry over into the third period for up to 1 minute and 14 seconds of game time. We have reached the end of the second, and through two, nobody has the lead. Alexandria has battled back from 3 goals down, and heading into the third, 3 is the magic number. Copyright Schoolhouse Rock. It is Alexandria 3, St. Michael-Albertville 3. Stick around on our platforms as we have the Eldon's Fresh Foods mid-game report after we enjoy these words from our boosters of Cardinal sports coverage.
When you come to Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill, you can count on great food, over 30 beers on tap, and a creative drink menu.
Come join us today at Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill in Alexandria.
Good service, good friends, and a great place to eat.
Get great service at Alexandria Motors. Serving your family for generations and generations to come. Stop in for a great deal on your next vehicle. Alexandria Motors. One low price, plain and simple, always.
A broken tooth? Fixed in one appointment? Yes, we do that at Dental Health Associates with our CEREC crowns. We'll fix your tooth in one appointment, which means less time off work, less time away from your family, and more convenience for you. You're in and out in one visit.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. Most of my crew has been here for decades.
The reason I've been here for so long is I love the variety and I love the different tasks throughout the day. A chance to operate many different pieces of equipment in any day.
Working here, I definitely like working with the crew. The guys are involved in training you and definitely help developing you as a person.
If I was looking for a place of employment, I would definitely apply here.
Give me a call and visit my website because we're hiring and I want to talk to you about your next career with us.
What's your number?
We drove 25 miles to get a great deal at Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
I see generations who are passionate about what they did. I hope that I can leave a legacy of compassion for people and love for family and friends.
There is a man, an insurance man, located in the birthplace of America, where he is committed to helping you find the best coverage for your needs.
Welcome. I'm Keith. When you think of insurance, think of Bill Marks, where we do the shopping for you.
Ford, Lincoln, Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, Jeep. Make it Jetner Motors your best price dealer. Make it Jetner Motors your best price dealer.
From your first home to a growing family, life keeps moving. Hi, I'm Sarah Iverson with State Farm Insurance. Every change means something new to protect. Let's start a conversation today about your peace of mind. Because like a good neighbor, Sarah Iverson will be there.
Yeah, Prime West Health Ruinstone Community Center through two in varsity boys hockey. Alexandria and St. Michael-Albertville are tied 3-3. The visitors scored the first 3 goals, and the home team has countered with the last 3. All 3 Alexandria scores coming in the second period. Welcome to our mid-game report, presented to you on our late media platforms by Eldon's Fresh Foods in Alexandria. And Jeff, I think you mentioned during the first period intermission that you would imagine that the speech for the Alexandria coaches, Dr. Landon Olson, and whomever in the first period might have been a little bit on the intense side, and whatever words were shared seemed to resonate, because though Alexandria would fall behind 3-0 in this game, once the Cardinals were able to find a score, boy, it seemed like they've been really putting a lot of energy on the ice, and it shows.
Yeah, and it's, for me, the biggest thing was the forecheck. We are going to be very difficult to play against down there. We're going to get turnovers, and we're going to do what we do with those turnovers, is put them away. And that's the biggest thing that I saw out of Alexandria. Of course, I feel like their jump and their energy in that period was a lot better, but that happens when you see the results, right? And they had the results, even though they fell, behind 3-0 there early in the second. Coach Landon Olson said it in his pregame. This is not a team that I'm worried about quitting. They're not going to turtle up and just, try and keep it 3-0. They're going to try and do everything they can to battle back, and that's exactly what they did in that period.
Well, in some ways, it's almost like what Alexandria did against the St. Cloud Crush earlier this month, where they were down 4-0, I believe, entering the third period, and Coach Olson mentioned, he even shared it as part of our Jetner Motors pregame show earlier. He kind of felt, even though it was a 4-0 game, he thought that if we score that first goal, we're going to come back and win this game, and they darn near did it.
Right.
I think a couple of empty netters at the end created enough separation, but fortunately for his team and the Alexandria fans, the comeback was launched a little bit earlier than it was against the Crush.
Yeah, and it's a momentum game. Little things can spark a team, and first it's not even just scoring the goals, it's getting the turnovers, it's getting the 2-on-1s. It's little successes, little battles, winning the 50-50 pucks, which Alexandria did a much better job in the second period on that as well. So whatever they gave them, whatever they said to them, whatever they fed them, keep doing it in the third period.
Yep, the comeback not necessarily complete, but Alexandria in much better shape now than it was at the start of the second period. St. Michael-Albertville got both of the goals in the opening period. Hunter Hansen with his 4th at the 7:30 mark. Caden Clark at the 10:14 mark. And then Braden Waller, the Knights' leading goal scorer, put in his 10th of the year at 5:32 of the second period, and St. Michael-Albertville grabbed a 3-0 lead. But it stayed at a 3-goal advantage for just a very short time, because Alexandria then countered by scoring twice in less than a minute of game time. Evan Clement got the Cardinals on the board at the 6:14 mark with his 4th goal of the year. And then 58 seconds later, defenseman Connor Wang was able to find the back of the net for his 2nd goal of the year. Will Thornburg assisted on that score. And then later, Alexandria won a face-off in the St. Michael-Albertville zone. And Will Thornburg down along the goal line was able to feed a centering pass in front. Grady Olson, the junior forward, put it away for his second goal of the year. We made Thornburg's assist on the game-tying goal our Culver's play of tonight's game. Presented to you by Culver's of Alexandria. Welcome to Delicious. And that game-tying goal came at the 14:07 mark to knot the score at 3. However, when the third period gets underway, Alexandria will be one player short. Nick Schultz, one of the captains of the Alexandria Cardinals, got whistled for slashing at 16:14, so he has served 46 seconds of his penalty time, and the last minute 14 carries over to period number 3. Shots on goal in the second period, Alexandria had 16 for a two-period total of 21. St. Michael-Albertville had 13 for a two-period total of 25. So far to this point, goaltender Brady Schluter has made 22 saves between the pipes for Alexandria. His counterpart, senior Lucas Ingebrigtsen of St. Michael-Albertville, has made 18 saves. So again, with 17 minutes of regulation time remaining, Alexandria has battled back from a deficit, but so far the Cardinals have not played in front tonight. It is Alexandria 3, St. Michael-Albertville 3 through 2. JJ, what do you envision is being discussed by the teams in the collective locker rooms here in the second period?
Well, I think it's going to be kind of both the same thing. The Knights, we need to really take advantage of this next minute and 14 power play. Really try and take that momentum back by putting in an early goal. And then I think on the other side, we got to kill it off. And we talk about this game after game. That first 5 minutes is always huge. When you come out into a third period, when you're tied or down 1 or up 1, you really want to set the tone for the rest of the period. That first 5 minutes is really important.
So we'll find out who wins the first 5 minutes, and will that be the telltale sign of who wins the game? We invite you to stick around and find out. Our thanks to Eldon's Fresh Foods for bringing you our mid-game report. Again, our varsity boys hockey contest is tied 3-3 with period 3 on the horizon. Right now on our Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube and on KXRA Radio, let's enjoy these words from our boosters of Cardinal sports coverage.
Casa Jalisco. Take a trip south of the border to a place where you can savor the flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine. Casa Jalisco offers a true taste of Mexico without the airfare. Casa Jalisco, your Mexican getaway in downtown Alexandria.
Enjoy life at the lake and work for a growing company that offers rewarding careers and cares about your well-being. Agard. We build cool machines and are hiring for multiple positions across the organization. Plus, no-cost health benefits for you and your family.
A successful win isn't about the score. It's about what you put into the game. If a successful win matters to you on the purchase or sale of your property, hard work matters to me. Todd Whiting, Century 21, 766-2200.
Hi, I'm Dr. Emma.
And I'm Dr. AJ. We're the dentists at the Alexandria Dental Clinic, where advanced care meets a family-first approach.
From cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign to restorative work and pediatric care.
Alexandria Dental Clinic, your smile's new best friend.
Hi, Carl Qualley with Qualley Real Estate. Our business approach is based on what we call the 4 E's: experience, expertise, ethics, and energy. Qualities that led us to be voted best real estate company 3 years in a row. Find your real estate coach at Qualley Real Estate, where we protect your money.
CM Woodworks produces high-quality cabinetry and furniture locally, right here in Nelson. See their showroom at 7300 39th Avenue Northeast in Nelson. CM Woodworks. Custom wood creations. Designed for beauty, built for life.
Carlson Music Center, downtown Alexandria. Yamaha pianos and new and used equipment. Lessons and instruction. Learn from the best. Piano and voice to guitar and violin. Carlson Music Center for all your musical needs in Alexandria.
The Tradesman Construction has built a rich history as being the premier, most referred, full-service general contractor in the area. They are a proud supporter of all Alexandria Cardinal teams. Find them online at tradesmanconstruction.com.
Getting in and out of the pharmacy is easy with Trum Drugs app RX Local. Download the app,
Choose Trum Drug as your pharmacy. Use it for medication refills and reminders. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
When you want your closing to go as smooth as possible, ask for Integrity Title. We may be a bit obsessed about our jobs and the details that go into it, but that's what makes us such a good choice for your real estate closing. Ask for Integrity Title, the title closing geeks.
Just about ready to start the third period here at the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center. Alexandria and St. Michael-Albertville tied 3-3. Checking out some other numbers on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard, the Alexandria Cardinal girls basketball team has suffered its first defeat of the year tonight down in the Twin Cities. Maple Grove defeated Alexandria 61-43. So that is the first loss under varsity head coach Matt Helscher in his first year of coaching at his alma mater. Alexandria had started the season at 8-0, but the Cardinals go down to defeat to a very good Maple Grove team, 61-43 tonight. And Jeff James, I don't know if you follow sports on a national level, but question for you. I've been to this place many, many times over the last, I want to say 15 years or so. Have you ever visited the Truman Sports Complex in Kansas City, Missouri?
I have not had the opportunity.
Well, as it turns out, your opportunities to do so might be limited. Some of the stories coming out of the central part of the United States is that the National Football League's Kansas City Chiefs have made their intentions known that they plan to leave Arrowhead Stadium and go to a new location over across the state line in the state of Kansas.
Wow. And I did read something about that, a dome stadium even, I heard.
Well, that could be. I mean, if they're able, I think when the Truman Sports Complex was originally created back in the 1970s, the one plan was to have the baseball stadium and the football stadium situated next to each other and then have a rolling roof coming across. Right. And that never got built, so you've had, in my mind, one of the most beautiful baseball stadiums that there is, Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, a place that I have visited many, many times, but I believe the lease for the Royals ends after the 2029 season, so there's grumblings that they want to build a new baseball stadium, possibly in downtown Kansas City, Missouri somewhere, but it could very well be that the Truman Sports Complex will be losing both of its main tenants, as they have been there since the early 1970s.
That would be heartbreak for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I tell you what, I would like to see Kauffman Stadium be around forever, but
you're also kind of a purist, D-Mac. We know.
But I'm kind of resigned to the fact that progress probably means that they're going to eventually have a stadium downtown, but if they were to make that new Chiefs Stadium, either domed or retractable roof, it probably increases Kansas City's chances of finally getting a Super Bowl, which they have not been able to get, although their football team up until this year has played a number of AFC championship games in Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the article I read in ESPN when it had the breaking news was that their intention is to do a dome stadium, or at least a covered retractable stadium.
So that's an interesting development. Fortunately, at this point, we don't have to worry about arenas in the state of Minnesota, although I think the Minnesota Timberwolves have aspirations that they would like to be in a new stadium or arena sometime in the near future. But for now, Target Center will remain the Timberwolves' home. The former XL Energy Center, now known as Grand Casino Arena, will remain the Minnesota Wild home. And, of course, Target Field, the home of the Minnesota Twins of the Major League Baseball ranks, and U.S. Bank Stadium, a.k.a. the People's Stadium, the home of the Minnesota Vikings. Third period underway. Again, Alexandria shorthanded, so you've got Owen Klimek and Hunter Haskamp as your forwards. Defensemen Connor Wang and Aiden Schneiderhan out as St. Michael-Albertville operates on the power play. Cardinals try to play the puck out of the zone, and Hunter Haskamp will slide it ahead. St. Michael-Albertville has Dylan Fauché sending it ahead. He's on the ice right now with Wyatt Tower, Owen Volkanen, Tanner Esterberg, and I believe Braylon Machi. And now the Knights actually get called for icing. So For St. Michael-Albertville, Jeff, this is not the way to start the third period.
No, and that it was kind of shocking to me that they didn't come out with that first power play unit that has Clark and Waller on it, but now they're out there.
Yep, and St. Michael-Albertville wins the draw and looking to send the breakout. It's Caden Clark sending it ahead to Tyler Bechtold up the right side. Bechtold gets met along the wall here, drawing the delight of Alexandria faithful. And as a result, the Cardinals work the puck back the other way. About 25 seconds to go in the power play for St. Michael-Albertville. Alexandria now has forwards Brody Berg and Miles Breitzman on the ice. Wang and Schneiderhan stay out as the D partners. Now the puck played along the wall. Back out to the point. Clark has it. Now he skates with the puck over to the right face-off circle. He'll send it down low. Now looking to bring it out front, and it gets broken up. Now it's along the goal line. Alexandria back to full strength. Centering attempt, and that's intercepted by Berg. And he'll feed it ahead, and that's going to elude everybody. And that ends up being icing on Alexandria as the Cardinals are now back to 5-on-5 hockey. So
a great start. I mean, you couldn't have asked for anything. If you have small goals, that was number one. Now we have, another 3+ minutes to see what we can do to set the tone here.
Yep, we're about a minute and a half into the final period as a loose puck comes onto the ice. Right now, the forward line of Levi Antoine, Hunter Hansen, and Wyatt Tupper is on the ice, joined by defensive partners Sam Brown and Dylan Fauché. Alexandria counters with the forward line of Owen Klimek, Grady Olson, and Will Thornburg. This is accounted for some scoring tonight for Alexandria. D partners on the ice include Roland McPhail and Will Draper. Here's a shot, save made, then a rebound to Grady Olson, and Ingebretson will corral it here, creating a face-off. So Alexandria showed its speed up the ice there, leading to a Grady Olson scoring chance or two.
Yeah, and the transition hockey is going to be something that both of these teams are really going to stress. Making sure when we get that puck from defense, we got to transition to offense as fast as we can.
Now the puck back in behind goaltender Ingebretson, cycled around, and the Knights will break out with it. Here comes Tupper up the right side, feeding it across for Hunter Hansen, but his shot tipped over into the right corner. 3-3 our score. We're now 2 minutes into the final period of regulation time. Alexandria regains control as Will Thornburg trying to steer it out of the zone, but St. Michael-Albertville will pound it back down low. Now the Cardinals working for the puck. Also Wyatt Tupper, one of the Knights forwards, trying to do some work. Now it's going to be retrieved here, and the Knights will keep it in as Owen Volkanent looking to maintain possession. He'll send it back out now toward the defenseman Owen Verness, and his shot on goaltender Schluter, who ends up making the save. Now a centering attempt. The Cardinals break that up. Now Alexandria working the other way. Grady Olson has it. He'll skate across center ice. Drop the puck in as the Cardinals will make a line change, bringing the Evan Klimek, Brody Berg forward line on the ice with Miles Breitzman. Here's Berg feeding it ahead to Klimek, now to Breitzman. Breitzman has his shot deflected over the glass, off the netting, and we should have a face-off coming up in the St. Michael-Albertville zone with exactly 14 minutes remaining in regulation time. We are tied at 3 on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard in varsity boys hockey. St. Michael-Albertville scored the first 3 goals. Alexandria rallied to tie. Right now, Evan Klimek and Tyler Bechtold will battle for the face-off. To the right of the goaltender, Ingebretson. Face-off draw won by Alexandria. Breitzman gets it to Connor Wang. His shot got blocked. Bechtold actually making the block there for St. Michael-Albertville. Now Alexandria regains control. Evan Klimek will work into the zone. His centering attempt got broken up, played back behind the net. Now the Knights regain control. Here's a rink-wide diagonal pass coming up the left side. Waller will fire, and then a rebound gets tapped in, but I don't know if the score is going to count here. The net was coming off its foundation, and I think that may wipe out the score.
I think it was maybe a little bit of an optical illusion because they picked the puck up back by the St. Cloud State sign back there.
Oh, really? Okay, so maybe the puck just, maybe.
It looked like it did. I agree with you.
It tricked me then. But I've been known to fall for football quarterbacks' fakes so easily. So face-off will be coming up to the right of the goaltender Schluter after the net gets placed back on its foundation. 3-3 our score. We're in period number 3. Now the Cardinals win the draw. Here's a breakout. Connor Wang up the right side. He'll work in, feed it across toward Breitzman. Now a rebound attempt, and Evan Klimek sent it wide, and the rebound will come back to neutral ice. Aiden Schneiderhan trying to control. He'll send it back across his blue line up toward the St. Michael-Albertville blue line. And now Wyatt Tower will direct the puck into the Alexandria end. The Knights will make a line change here. Alexandria looking to break out. Now the Knights are going to keep it in. And the puck goes behind the net. Looking to control now in the right corner is Tanner Esterberg. Now it's cycled around. Schneiderhan will get to it, and then he'll send it over toward Bennett Waldorf. Waldorf part of a forward line with Harlan Ream and Aaron Anderson. Now the puck is going to be played along the wall against St. Michael-Albertville, able to keep it in. Here's a chance, and Esterberg's backhander got deflected. Now the Cardinals will end up icing the puck, and in my mind, Jeff, that was not a bad icing there for Alexandria.
No, and you've seen it a couple of times here. They've switched out a puck, but I don't think it's the puck. There's a little bit of a slow ice problem here where it's kind of come to a stop several times. That happens when you get late in these games and it's a little warm from the fans, but take care of the puck. That's the biggest thing.
Face-off will be coming to the left of the goaltender Brady Schluter, and it looks like Owen Klimek will come in to take the draw against Levi Antoine, and the Cardinals gain possession of the puck. Played over toward the right wall. Will Thornburg will steer it out of the zone, but it's off his stick, and now St. Michael-Albertville regains control. Owen Verness will drop it back to his teammate, who happens to be one of the captains of the Knights, Caden Clark, and then he tried a stretch pass that went off the far wall and eluded everybody, so icing is the call, and now a face-off coming up in the St. Michael-Albertville zone. The Will Thornburg, Grady Olson, Owen Klimek forward line on the ice, joined by defensemen Brolin McPhail and Will Draper for Alexandria. This time St. Michael-Albertville wins the draw. Defenseman Owen Verness will send it over toward Clark. The forward line of Braden Waller, Easton Monahan, and Tyler Bechtold on the ice at the moment for the visiting Knights. Puck played out of the zone by St. Michael-Albertville. Draper's going to go back, send it over to Brolin McPhail. Now it's going to come up ahead and into the the St. Michael-Albertville zone. We've now played a little more than 5 minutes of this third period. Still tied at 3. Our scoreboard updates tonight brought to you by Glenwood State Bank. Will Thornburg gaining possession of the puck. Tried to work it out front. Now he's got his stick held up. He has it back. Sending it now to Draper. Draper firing into traffic. That got deflected, blocked by a St. Michael-Albertville player. Loose puck. Thornburg trying to track it down. He'll fire, and that's a stick save for the goaltender Ingebretson. Now the puck cycled back behind the net, and a couple of Cardinal players and a Knight player jabbing for it here. St. Michael-Albertville will regain control, and it's going to come the other way. No icing here. Brady Schluter will end up steering it over toward his defenseman, Connor Wang. Wang will play it across the blue line back to neutral ice. We're under 11 minutes remaining in regulation time, tied at 3. A rush up the ice for St. Michael-Albertville. Braden Waller tried to put it in front for one of his line mates. It got broken up. Now here's a shot from one of the defensemen, Colton McClellan, and that's steered away. Now the Knights will keep it in the zone. Here's a shot and a glove save here on McClellan's attempt. And we'll have a face-off coming up in Alexandria's end. 10:26 is our time remaining in regulation. The numbers on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard at the moment have Alexandria and St. Michael-Albertville tied at 3. And now it's going to be Hunter Haskamp battling for the draw against Olin Volkanent, and the Knights do win possession of the puck. Shot tipped a little bit wide of the goal. Now the puck over along the left half wall. Towers going to keep it in. He's going to send it across. Now a diagonal pass intercepted. Nick Schultz has it for the Alexandria Cardinals. He'll feed it off. Now it comes back towards Schultz. Centering pass for Aaron Anderson. Scramble in front, and a save is going to be made. I think on the doorstep, Waldorf may have been there for the Alexandria Cardinals, and he got stopped as Alexandria quickly transitioned there, and that was some good work by the Cardinals. Unfortunately, that did not lead to the go-ahead goal.
Definition of crash the net right there. There's a picture in the dictionary of crash the net right there.
Yeah. Hunter Haskamp and Levi Antoine battling for the draw. This time St. Michael-Albertville wins the face-off. Wyatt Tupper will send it back to one of his defensive teammates, that being Dylan Fauché. And now the Knights will work through neutral ice and into the offensive end. Here is Hunter Hansen with the puck, sending it back out. Now Fauché has it. He'll shoot one a little bit wide. Rebound will be taken by Waldorf. Ahead now to Aaron Anderson. Then the puck knocked off his stick. St. Michael-Albertville regains control. We are now 7.5 minutes into the third period. No scoring this period as we remain tied 3-3. And here comes Fauché working into the slot area. His shot is saved by the goaltender Brady Schluter, who is now up to 26 saves on the night.
Yeah, such a big game by Schluter. He's done everything that the coaches have asked him, his players have asked him. He's back there just being a wall that he needs to be right now.
Now the Cardinals have the Grady Olson, Will Thornburg, Owen Klimek line on the ice. Grady Olson battling for the draw against Tyler Bechtold, and the puck goes into the right corner, and now Alexandria regains control. The Cardinals look to chip it out. Taken here by Grady Olson, up ahead now to Thornburg, and redirected by St. Michael-Albertville's Braden Waller. Now to the right side to Easton Monahan, playing it around, and it will be grabbed by Grady Olson, is sending it back the other way, but St. Michael-Albertville now regains control. Puck chipped along the wall. Now it's going to be sent back into the Cardinals' end. And now Alexandria will steer it over toward the half wall, and we're going to have a penalty coming up. I think a trip is going to be whistled here, and Alexandria is about to get its second power play of the game. So this call is going to come at 8 minutes and 21 seconds of the third period, and Braden Waller is off for tripping. Let's see if Alexandria can take advantage here.
And these are the times that you really need to have big players come up in big spots. This would be one of those times for Alexandria to really put some pressure on the Knights.
4 forwards on the ice right now, including Grady Olson, Will Thornburg, Brody Berg, and here's a shot, and that goes wide off the stick of Grady Olson. You've also got Evan Klimek on the ice, and Connor Wang. Those are the 5 for Alexandria. St. Michael-Albertville will clear the puck back to neutral ice. Levi Antoine and Hunter Hansen are your forwards on the ice. Defenseman Colton McClellan and Wyatt Tower out for penalty kill. Now St. Michael-Albertville working some time off the clock, working the puck through the neutral zone, then sliding it back in. Schluter's going to slow it up, and Connor Wang will come back to retrieve the biscuit. Wang will look to skate ahead, now gets past one defender. Now a possible 5-on-3 if everybody stays on side. They do. Brody Berg across. One-timer and a blocker save on Evan Klimek's attempt. Now the long rebound comes back out into neutral ice. Skating up ahead, short-handed, Tanner Esterberg trying to move in. He's got room to shoot, but he shot it wide. Now the puck is going to be retrieved by Alexandria. Here is Connor Wang sending it over. Now to Evan Klimek, then it's back to Wang. Still about 45 seconds remaining in the Alexandria power play. Diagonal pass broken up. And now Owen Klimek will go back to get it in his own end, as Tyler Bechtold was providing a little bit of interference, if you will, in the passing sequence. Now Aaron Anderson steers it ahead toward Miles Breitzman. Now Aaron Anderson will fire toward the net. That goes a little bit wide. And then the whistle sounds as I think the puck may have gone out of play. 7 minutes exactly remaining in regulation time. Still 21 seconds remaining in the Alexandria Cardinal power play. We remain tied at 3 on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. Owen Clemick will battle for the draw against Owen Volkanant for the St. Michael-Albertville Knights. Face off to the right of the goaltender Ingebretson, and the Cardinals claim the draw. Comes back out to the point. Nick Schultz sends it over to Aiden Schneiderhan. Now back to Schultz. Schultz will fire. That one got tipped into the corner. Rebound will be controlled by Harlan Ream. Back out to Schultz. Now down low. Owen Clemick shoots. That one is tipped away and out of play. So 3 seconds now to go on the power play. Again, our thanks to Quality Real Estate for bringing you the instant replays on our YouTube channel.
And you got to watch here now, too, which I'm sure the Cardinals are even talking about it, is 3 seconds. You got to watch that player coming out of the box because that allows you to have that possible breakaway situation.
Yep, Alexandria does control the draw. Aiden Schneiderhan will send it down low, and now the Knights back to full strength. Now Owen Clemick looking to feed it out front. Harlan Ream on the doorstep here. Now the puck cycled. Schneiderhan has it along the right wall, trying to send it toward Miles Breitzman. Breitzman, backhander, that will go down inside. And Colton McClellan will guide it away from the net. Now it's going to be played ahead. Pass a little bit too long for Volkanant, and Alexandria regains control. Here's Harlan Ream gaining possession. Now it's off his stick. Tanner Esterberg comes the other way. He'll skate in deep. We go under 6 minutes remaining in regulation time. And now a blocker save on a shot by the defenseman Colton McClellan. And the puck now back into neutral ice. Hunter Haskamp grabs it for Alexandria, trying to steer it ahead with his stick, and is poked away. And now the puck will go out of play, and we'll have a stoppage here. That allows us to let you know that you are listening to People Radio, KXRA Alexandria, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, 105.7 FM, audio through the Voice of Alexandria app, powered by Mission Mechanical Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. A big thank you to Integrity Title of Alexandria for being the signature streaming sponsor of our Alexandria sports play-by-play coverage on our Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube. Off the face-off, Brody Berg fires, and that one just got steered away. Oh, it looked from here like Brody was trying to go upper right corner with his shot there, and you give Lucas Ingebretson a little bit of credit there. He was not about to surrender the go-ahead goal.
No, that one took a real drastic turn. I'm wondering if that didn't even catch a little bit of pipe.
So now the Knights will clear the puck out of the zone. Brolin McPhail back to play it. He and Will Draper, the forwards on the ice right now. Here's a pass up to center ice, intercepted. Fauché working in, and his shot is saved by goaltender Brady Schluter. So Cardinals had a neutral ice turnover there. Fortunately for Alexandria, St. Michael-Albertville did not capitalize.
Yeah, you're going to have to take, it's so critical here. Take care of the puck. You need to make sure that you limit the turnovers and force as many as you can.
Right now, Alexandria will bring out the Owen Clemick, Will Thornburg, Grady Olson forward line. St. Michael-Albertville controls the draw. The Knights have their Easton Monahan, Tyler Bechtold, Braden Waller forward line on the ice. Now here is out top Clark looking to feed down, and the pass got tipped. It's being played along the wall, now over into the right corner. 4:45 to go in regulation time. A game that nobody has the lead right now. Alexandria fell behind 3-0. The Cardinals rallied with all of their goals in the second period to tie, and we've had no scoring here in the third period. Now St. Michael-Albertville's Monahan gains possession of the puck. It's going to be played in deep, and now Alexandria will look to send it out of the zone, but it's going to be kept in briefly. But now Owen Clemick will steer it across toward Nick Schultz, who now leads it ahead into the offensive zone. A shot goes wide on the attempt there for the Alexandria Cardinals, Will Thornburg. Now Thornburg takes a shot. That's saved by Ingebretson. Hunter Haskamp trying to do some work back behind the net. Harlan Ream gets to the puck. centering attempt is intercepted here by Hunter Hansen, but the Knights now do finally clear the zone, and we got a transition the other way, but it's broken up. Nick Schultz feeds it to Haskamp. Haskamp back into the offensive end. Under 4 minutes to go in regulation time. We are tied at 3 on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. It's boys hockey tonight with Alexandria hosting St. Michael-Albertville inside the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center. Now working in. Here's an attempt, but Owen Volkanen wasn't able to keep the puck on his stick. It's going to be cycled around. St. Michael-Albertville will try to bring it out front, and Evan Klimek keeps it wide. Now the puck along the left wall. Now a little tic-tac-toe attempt. St. Michael-Albertville keeps it onside. McClellan shot goes wide. Here's a rebound attempt, and that shot got blocked. Now the puck comes the other way, and the goaltender Ingebrigtsen will feed it out into neutral ice. Under 3 minutes to go in regulation time as we remain tied 3-3 between these two new rivals in Section 8AA, Alexandria and St. Michael-Albertville. The Knights have been in this section for a few years. Alexandria is back in Class AA Section 8 for the first time in almost 2 decades. Now the Knights have possession, but they can't keep it in the zone. It's going to go back to neutral ice where defenseman Wyatt Tower will take it. It's going to be played ahead now to Owen Volkanen, and he'll drop it in as St. Michael-Albertville, I believe, will get its top forward line of Braden Waller, Easton Monahan, and Tyler Bechtold on the ice. Here is a centering attempt. Scramble in front. Loose puck, and the Cardinals will clear it out. It's going to come back the other way. Goaltender Ingebrigtsen will slow it up for Dylan Fauché. Now under 2 minutes to go in regulation time. Here's St. Michael-Albertville working the puck in. Bechtold will take the shot, and that one got deflected. I don't think it ever made it on the goaltender, Brady Schluter. Schluter's made a number of magnificent saves in tonight's game. Really 3 point-blank shooting opportunities for St. Michael-Albertville in the first couple of periods. Now Monahan will steer it back into the Alexandria end. The Cardinals regain control. Connor Wang has the puck. He's going to play it up the left side, slide it up into neutral ice to Thornburg. Back to Wang. Wang working in. Into the slot area. Now he'll work over toward the corner. Fire high. Grady Olson now in. Sends it toward out top. Now Wang's shot got blocked. Rebound, and it's going to be kept in here by Will Thornburg. Thornburg weaving through, but the puck got knocked off his stick. Final minute of regulation time. Here's Easton Monahan up the right side for St. Michael-Albertville. The puck got poked off his stick, and it's controlled here by defenseman Brolin McPhail. He'll send it over to Nick Schultz. Now a diagonal pass. Bounced up into the air. Brody Berg comes down with it, trying to control with his stick, but it's going to be taken away as St. Michael-Albertville plays it back to neutral ice. Now in deep is Evan Klimek. His backhander never found it on net. Here's a centering attempt that got broken up. St. Michael-Albertville's Owen Volkanen will send it back the other way. Tipped into the Alexandria zone. Aiden Schneiderhan will try to do some work along the back wall. Down to the final 15 seconds of regulation time. Schneiderhan gains control for the Cardinals. He'll play it back to neutral ice. We might have some bonus hockey ahead. Harlan Ream trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Here's a centering attempt broken up, and we have the horn sounding, and extra time will be required tonight inside Old National Bank Arena at the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center. They'll put up to 8 minutes on the clock, and regulation ends with this game tied 3-3. So no scoring in period number 3. Shots on goal, I believe St. Michael-Albertville had 8 in the third period for a 3-period total of 33. Alexandria also had 8 shots on goal for a 3-period total of 29. So this is going to be a scenario tonight where you have the next goal being the game winner. If Alexandria scores that next goal, the only time tonight the Cardinals will lead will be at the end of the game. That's the wishful thinking that the late media guys are kind of counting on here. 3-3 at the end of 3 periods. You brought it up. Even early in the third period, it seemed like the ice was a little bit slow, and obviously they don't resurface before an overtime here, so it really could be kind of a grind, whether we play the full 8 minutes or something less than that.
Well, and those legs just really start to get heavy at this point, right? So mistakes have to be minimized. I mean, both ways. You have to try and capitalize on the mistakes that you can get the Knights to make, but you really have to take care of the puck here in overtime.
And again, the next goal is the game winner. 3-3 at the end of regulation time. Alexandria will start the period with a forward line of Miles Breitzman, Brody Berg, and Evan Klimek. Defenseman Nick Schultz and Connor Wang will be on the ice. St. Michael-Albertville will come out with its top forward line of Braden Waller, Easton Monahan, and Tyler Bechtold. Defenseman Owen Verness and Caden Clark will be on the ice now. As you're watching on YouTube, Alexandria is wearing the light-colored jersey tops, so the Cardinals will flow left to right in this overtime session. 8 minutes put up on the clock. And the fans really getting into it. The players down below us here tapping their sticks against the boards as overtime is underway. Again, the Cardinals have never led in this game. Here is Clark working it in deep into the Alexandria zone. He's got it along the left wall. Now Nick Schultz jabbing for possession here. And Evan Klimek also trying to gain possession of the puck. Now it's played along the wall. Bechtold back now to one of his forwards, Easton Monahan, and a save made on a shot attempt there by the Knights. So Brady Schluter, who's made now 30-plus saves in the game, has kept this game tied. Now here comes Braden Waller up ahead. His lead pass redirected the other way. Now it's going to be Verness sending it ahead. And here comes St. Michael-Albertville back in, and oh my, from a difficult angle, the game-winning goal is going to be scored. Easton Monahan will get his first goal of the year, just 56 seconds into the overtime. And that's a game winner for St. Michael-Albertville. So on this Monday evening before Christmas, the Alexandria Cardinals never lead in the hockey game. It takes 56 seconds for Easton Monahan, the junior forward, to score the game-winning goal. And they will give 2 assists on the play. I believe Tyler Bechtold will get 1 assist, and Braden Waller the other assist. And again, 56 seconds is the time of the game winner. So as it turns out, the JV and varsity games are both won by the visiting team in overtime tonight. Final in the OT, St. Michael-Albertville 4, Alexandria 3. The Cardinals head into Christmas now at 3-5 on the year. And Sean Fish's St. Michael-Albertville Knights have now won 5 consecutive games. And the Knights now stand at 6-4. Heading into the Christmas holiday. So that's going to do it for our play-by-play, but we invite you to stick around. I'll head downstairs looking for my opportunity to visit with a player from the Alexandria Cardinals as part of our Juttner Motors post-game report. But along our latent media platforms, let's now enjoy these words from our boosters of Cardinal sports coverage.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. I'm looking for experienced, hardworking people to join my company. When you work for us, you'll be home every night, no overnight hotels. Give me a call and visit my website because we're hiring and we want to talk to you about your next career with us.
Life can sometimes feel like you're navigating through construction. You hit a detour, run out of gas, or you're going the wrong way on a one-way street. But Lakeland Mental Health Center is here to help you get back to the right path. Visit lmhc.org. Help today for a better tomorrow.
Where you start today is not where you'll finish tomorrow. At Alexandria College, we know you have big plans for the future. Find your calling and be a legend.
Dentistry at the Center knows all about busy schedules, and that's one of the best things about having 3 dentists. We have more appointment times available, so we can see you sooner. So, for dentist appointments to fit your schedule better, come see the friendly folks at Dentistry at the Center.
I'm a nurse at heart. I went into this to take care of other people.
What we say as nurses and as teammates matters here.
Come on over, you'll love it. You will get to experience so many things and help many people.
Cardinals fans, did you know that Cenex Midtown Express has a gas pump designated to support Alexandria Public Schools? For each gallon purchased, 2 cents will be donated to the schools. Pump up your pride at Cenex, your local hometown choice in Alexandria and Garfield. Owned by the community, supporting the community. As the seasons change, so do the needs of your car. That's when Alexandria drivers turn to Mike and Josh at Precision Auto. From simple tune-ups to major repairs, trust a pro. Precision Auto on 8th and Nokomis, Alexandria.
Trum Drug has things in every aisle that you won't find anywhere else, and many of them are made right here in Minnesota. Stop in and grab something for yourself, a friend, or family. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
If you haven't experienced all new Woodies, you're missing out on the best clean in town.
We installed all new equipment and high suction vacuum service,
but kept our personalized touch with our pre-wash and hand drying service.
Get your shine on
at Woody's Car Wash in the heart of downtown Alexandria.
Who do you turn to if you or a loved one is experiencing a mental health crisis? We're here. Region 4 South Mobile Crisis Team will come to you by calling 701-364-0431.
Fresh, family, locally loved. Eldon's Fresh Foods. Eldon's Fresh Foods.
I just get a great satisfaction when I hear the relief in a customer's voice that they've been helped. They always feel it's an inconvenience when they call us. It's like, it's never an inconvenience. We love helping our customers.
At Viking Bank, we're invested in your journey.
Inside Old National Bank Arena at the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center in Alexandria. The Alexandria Cardinal boys hockey team forces overtime, but St. Michael-Albertville gets the game winner less than a minute into the extra session, and the Knights prevail by a final score of 4-3. St. Michael-Albertville with the victory now has a 5-game win streak. Welcome to our postgame report, brought to you by Juckner Motors in Alexandria. Along with our videographer, JP Boleen, and my broadcast partner, Jeff James. They are up in the press box here at the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center. I am DMAC Dave McClurg. I've come down to ice level where we're going to get together with our player of the game, and this feature is being brought to you by Quality Toyota of Fergus Falls. How far would you drive for a great deal from Quality Toyota? What's your number? You can visit anytime online at qualitytoyota.net, or the next time you're in the community of Fergus Falls, stop by their showroom located on West Lincoln Avenue. One of the captains of the Alexandria Cardinal boys hockey team, Evan Klimek, is joining me as my special guest. And Evan, I know that we're on our YouTube channel tonight, but for those that are listening on the radio and don't have a chance to see you in person, when you suit up with your jersey sweater on game night, what's your number?
21.
Very good. And you've been number 21 really throughout your varsity career, is that correct?
No, my sophomore year, I started as 17, and then I just took 21 from one of my line mates that I played with my sophomore year. So,
very good. Evan, obviously a game that featured some momentum for the visitors early on. Then your team really came out, played a whale of a second period. Does it kind of suck that you don't get any positive reward? You get the game into overtime only to have the overtime game winner scored by the opposition?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks we didn't come out with the win, but the fact that we just bounced back in the second and came back with a purpose, it took us a long way, and that's what we need. And I know our leadership wanted this one, but it just didn't work out that way.
I know that St. Michael-Albertville was able to score twice in the opening period and actually made it a 3-0 game about 6 minutes in, and then your team was able to launch the comeback. What was the mood of the locker room like after period number 1 when you're down by a couple of goals?
We just knew we needed to come out with a different mentality. We knew we needed one, and then they would keep coming.
And that turned out to be the case. I think the first 2 goals were scored about 58 seconds apart, and then the game-tying goal came later in the second. Was that one of the better periods that your team has played in a while, Evan? The second where you outscored the Knights 3-1?
Yeah, that's definitely one of our better periods. We just came out with a purpose, and we knew what we had to do and how we had to compete. So, yeah, I would say that's one of our better periods we've had so far.
We are getting together right now with Evan Klemick, senior captain for the Alexandria Cardinal boys hockey team. The Cardinals fall to the St. Michael-Albertville Knights 4-3 in overtime. That leaves Alexandria now at 3-5 going into the Christmas holiday. Evan, I'd like to get your thoughts because your postseason home is different than it's been for the other years as a high school hockey player. The Cardinals are now in Class AA Section 8. You've had the chance to play the defending state champion Moorhead Spuds. In fact, 4 of your games so far this year have been against opponents in Section 8 AA. From a player's perspective, is playing against the bigger AA schools different than playing some of those teams that you used to play in Class A Section 6?
Yeah, I mean, you have to bring it for every game. The intensity is a lot different, and I would say for the first few games, I mean, we weren't used to the intensity, and we didn't know you had to bring it every game. And once you get to the AA level, if you take a game or 2 off, you're going to really see it, and it shows when you even take a shift off. I mean, they capitalize on everything.
And would you say, being that this is the 4th game and the first one against a team in your section since Moorhead visited here back on December 11th, do you feel like the guys are kind of appreciating this you got to bring it for every shift? Or is that kind of sinking in now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, early on, I would say, even when we just played a few single A teams early on, I mean, if you take a few shifts, they were good at single A teams too. If you take a few shifts off, I mean, they're going to capitalize no matter what. But once you get into the bigger schools and AA teams, they don't mess up, and they capitalize on every mistake. So
I know that you cannot change anything about the postseason home for the Alexandria Cardinals. I know after you graduate this coming spring, Alexandria will be back in the section next year, but when you found out last spring that the Cardinals were making the move up into AA for the first time in almost 2 decades, what was your reaction as a player?
I was in shock. I think everyone in the locker room was in shock. We just weren't expecting it. We heard rumors about us moving up, but we didn't hear anything about it from our coaches until I think it was after our fun practice last year, and we just knew that we needed to do something different throughout the summer to prepare for this season.
I'd like to ask you a couple of questions, Evan, not necessarily game related or playoffs related, but first of all, I see that your jersey sweater has the letter C on it, and that's symbolic of being a captain of this year's team. What is your reaction of being a captain? That, in my mind, it means that a lot of your teammates respect you and appreciate what you provide. But as one who is selected captain, when you found out that was going to be the case, what is that? What's your thought on that?
Yeah, it's an honor that the coaches see me as a leader, not just by. I mean, I'm a quiet guy in the locker room. I don't say much, but just by my actions, and it's an honor that they recognize that and they put the C on my chest.
And then I would like to ask you about that locker room. Now, I've not had the opportunity to visit your new digs. I'm still kind of getting used to, the expanded facility here, but comparing the old or contrasting the old locker room to the new, how fun is it to be in this new locker room?
It's a lot of fun. So much fun. I mean, it's all just everyone's facing each other, and we're sitting by different guys, and it's just a lot of fun. We have a ping pong table in the locker room, and a lot of guys get to compete and do that, and it's just a lot of team bonding in there. So
I got the feeling when I visited with Brady Schluter after he got the shutout win against Cathedral back on December 2nd, I think it was, he thinks he's got pretty mean playing skills at the ping pong table. I'd like to ask you about your efforts as a ping pong player, and do they rank among team leadership there?
I would say I'm pretty humble about ping pong. I'm not very good. There's a few guys in the locker room that are super good and they would whoop my butt, but I would say Brady was a little too confident when you interviewed him.
Who would you rank as maybe your top 2 or top 3 players at the ping pong table in the locker room?
I would say Owen Bruder. He's definitely up there, and Miles is pretty good too. So it's fun to watch those two when they play each other.
Excellent. Regarding the season ahead, of course, after 8 games, we're about a third of the way through the regular season schedule. But what do you think this season can become over the last 2 months of the season before you get into the Section 8 AA tournament?
I think that we have a lot of potential. We just need to work in practice and compete every day.
Very good. Evan, congratulations. Thank you so much for being a guest with us on our post-game report. Congrats on being a captain of this year's Cardinal hockey team. I wish you and your immediate family and your hockey family a very Merry Christmas, and we'll look forward to seeing you again in the new year.
Yeah, thank you. Merry Christmas.
Excellent. There is Evan Klimek, senior captain for the Alexandria Cardinal boys hockey team, our special guest as part of our post-game report. The post-game interview segment brought to you by Quality Toyota of Fergus Falls. Again, St. Michael-Albertville gets the win in overtime, 4-3 at Alexandria. We'll take a break on our Leighton Media platforms, and we'll be back with more of our Jutner Motors post-game report after this timeout.
Resorts Marine in Osakis. Check us out for new and used boats, pontoons,
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles 6 times for a great deal at Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
First Western provides the best in customer service.
Professional, friendly, full-service banking is what you can count on at First Western.
First Western, you can bank on us.
Better water starts with EcoWater. Get started today and discover EcoWater's products and expertise for the perfect solution. Visit WeFixWaterMN.com with offices in Alexandria, Fergus Falls, Glenwood, and Morris.
When you come to Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill, you can count on great food, over 30 beers on tap, and a creative drink menu.
Come join us today at Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill in Alexandria.
Good service, good friends, and a great place to eat.
A broken tooth? Fixed in one appointment? Yes, we do that at Dental Health Associates with our CEREC crowns. We'll fix your tooth in one appointment, which means less time off work, less time away from your family, and more convenience for you. You're in and out in one visit.
Get great service at Alexandria Motors. Serving your family for generations and generations to come. Stop in for a great deal on your next vehicle. Alexandria Motors. One low price, plain and simple, always.
I see generations who are passionate about what they did. I hope that I can leave a legacy of compassion for people and love for family and friends.
There is a man, an insurance man, located in the birthplace of America, where he is committed to helping you find the best coverage for your needs.
Welcome. I'm Keith. When you think of insurance, think of Bill Marks, where we do the shopping for you.
Ford, Lincoln, Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, Jeep. Make it Jutner Motors your best price dealer. Make it Jutner Motors your best price dealer.
From your first home to a growing family, life keeps moving. Hi, I'm Sarah Iverson with State Farm Insurance. Every change means something new to protect. Let's start a conversation today about your peace of mind, because like a good neighbor, Sarah Iverson will be there.
For those listening to KXRA Radio as we come out of the break with a little bumper music, Jeff James, did you know that Bruce Hornsby in the Ranges, The Way It Is, was the #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in December of 1986?
No, I was, 11 years old? That probably wasn't in my wheelhouse.
Wow. Yeah, I was a little bit north of 11. I was still in my teenage years, but not for much longer at that point. But, Bruce Hornsby is another one that I've seen in concert once in Minneapolis, and he's very good at tickling the ivories, and I think he still does that to this day. So, anyway, St. Michael-Albertville with the 4-3 win over Alexandria in overtime, and I talked with Sean Fish. I don't know if you were able to overhear some of that after, while we were in the break and everything like that, but I got the feeling these teams could probably play 5 times and each is going to win at least 2, but it's the one that counts, and right. St. Michael-Albertville gets a key road win. I think this is going to help the Knights out. I know they've got their grueling Lake Conference schedule on the horizon. They've already played a couple of games, but one of the teams in the Lake Conference, they only play once. That's Hopkins. And then I think they play everybody else home and away in that league. And so it is a challenge, but, St. Michael-Albertville now with back-to-back wins over Brainerd and Alexandria out of the Central Lakes Conference. In a good spot, I think for Alexandria, I think some progress being made here. That I think Evan Klimek mentioned it as part of the interview in the last segment of our post-game report. It takes a little bit of an adjustment playing against these AA teams, and it turns out I think 2 of the first 4 games and 3 of the first 5, I think it was, were against Section 8 AA rivals.
Right, and for anybody that would have thought that Alexandria was going to come in and just dominate 8 AA, I don't know that that's realistic. Now, does Alexandria belong in 8 AA? I feel absolutely. That they showed, and they have shown that they can play with these AA schools, and I thought Evan summed it up perfectly by saying, these teams are going to give us everything that we want and everything that we can handle, and they're going to take advantage of mistakes. That's a key. That's something Alexandria is going to have to get ready for and learn, and I believe they will. It's just different hockey again, because you have most teams can run 4 lines at you. The depth is probably going to be a lot more than we've seen in the past. I just feel, though, what a great game tonight. I was really impressed with the Alexandria Cardinals and the way there was no give up in them. They could have easily just turtled up if they wanted to and not fought back and just tried to keep it at a 3-0 deficit. But kudos to them. They did a remarkable job tonight, and I think I heard you kind of say it sucks to lose this way, but it's one of those games where you live and you learn, and tomorrow's another game.
Yeah, and I feel bad that the Alexandria kids don't get rewarded for, I thought, a really solid effort, great comeback. Again, that game was kind of teetering where if St. Michael-Albertville gets maybe one more, maybe this goes lopsided for the Knights, but Alexandria refused to let that happen. Now, if that second period, if we could bottle that up and bring that out on a nightly basis, and again, that takes work to do, but I think there are pieces there. The numbers don't lie, though. Alexandria is 0-4 now against teams in Section 8 AA. They don't get a bite at Roseau's apple at all this year. Right. So, obviously they'll have remaining section games, the home and away with Brainerd, and then the road trip in January to St. Cloud. So I believe in about a 6-day span or so in late January, we will have Alexandria's game at the MAC in St. Cloud against the Crush, and then the following Tuesday, we go to Brainerd for a late afternoon 5 o'clock game against the Warriors, and those games are going to have a little more heightened importance here. And Brainerd's a team, they just got beaten pretty soundly by St. Michael-Albertville, yet the Warriors have a win over the St. Cloud Crush on their schedule. So,
well, absolutely. And then you have Elk River, as well for Alexandria. So there's going to be plenty of opportunity here, and I really feel like maybe, now it's probably okay to say, but finish somewhere, middle of the pack. That would be a big success for me going forward with these guys, because I think you have to be a little bit realistic with it now. Starting out 0-4, rattle off a few, have somebody other than maybe a Moorhead to play at the beginning of the year, which I'm hoping that will happen anyways. But that's just you got to have mini goals, and I think that's going to be one of them.
I get the feeling, and again, I haven't seen all of these teams play. We're going to have the home game with Elk River Zimmerman on the air in January. So, our 3 of our 4 remaining Alexandria boys hockey games that we have on our latent media platforms during the regular season in the new year all have section implications. And outside of the Moorhead Spuds, I think, from spots 2 through 8, you're going to have teams that will take turns knocking each other off. That there's no definitive number 2. There's no definitive number 3.
No, and that you bring up a good point. I mean, I do believe that Elk River has had a little bit of early season ranking, up there, but everything that I've seen or scores that I've seen, it doesn't seem like Alexandria is far off from being able to roll out a few big, if you want to call them signature wins, stealing that from PJ Fleck, but we haven't had too many of those at the Gophers. But hopefully the Alexandria Cardinals will have more signature wins to go this season. But you know what? You can't look at that. You just look at who's next on our schedule, and that's what we're going to focus on, and we're going to focus on what we do well.
Going through a scoring recap here as part of our Jutner Motors postgame report. Again, St. Michael-Albertville gets the victory in overtime 4-3. The Knights scored the first 3 goals of the game. Hunter Hansen at the 7:30 mark of the hockey game. Assist to Colton McClellan and Wyatt Tower. 2-0 for the Knights with another first period goal. Caden Clark scores his second at 10:14. Tanner Esterberg with the assist. Then it becomes 3-0 for the Knights in period number 2 when Braden Waller scores his, Braden Waller. Sorry about that. Maybe I'm trying to hurry. My mouth is moving faster than my head right now. But Braden Waller scores his team-leading 10th of the year at 5:32 of the second. Tyler Bechtold and Easton Monahan would get the assists. 3-0 at that point. And then Alexandria pops in 2 almost immediately after that. The Cardinals score their first at 6:14 as Evan Klemick, our post-game guest, scores his 4th goal of the year. That was unassisted. Then defenseman Connor Wang scores 58 seconds after that at 7:12. His goal gets assisted by Will Thornburg. And then Alexandria tied the game up late in the second. Grady Olson getting a nice feed from down near the goal line from Will Thornburg. Grady Olson got the finish. We credited Will Thornburg's assist on the Olsen goal as our Culver's play of tonight's game. So congrats to Will Thornburg for achieving the play of the game. Brought to you by Culver's Restaurant in Alexandria. Culver's, welcome to Delicious. So 3-3 at the 14:07 mark of the second. No scoring the rest of the period. No scoring in the third period. And then in overtime, junior Easton Monahan scores his first goal of the year. He shot it in from a tough angle. Got it past the goaltender Brady Schluter at the 56-second mark. His line mates Bechtold and Waller get the assists. So St. Michael-Albertville gets the victory 4-3. The Knights would get both of the shots on goal in overtime to finish with a game total of 35. And Alexandria finished the game with 29 shots on goal. So Schluter makes 31 saves between the pipes as his record falls to 1-4 on the year, while goaltender Lucas Ingebretson He yields 3 goals on his ledger, finishes with 26 saves, and he's now 5-2 on the year. For the Alexandria boys hockey team, they are now off until next Monday, making a journey to West Fargo, North Dakota, to play West Fargo Cheyenne. I believe it's the 3rd consecutive year the Cardinals and Cheyenne will be playing against each other. And then back into conference play in early January as Alexandria will travel down to Willmar. I think what's notable there, Wilmer's off to a 5-1 start or a 6-1 start under new head coach Sean Bakke. Kind of an interesting dynamic there. One of Sean's older brothers, Scott Bakke, was a junior high classmate and friend of mine back in the days in District 281. So I know Scott probably the best, although I haven't talked to him for about 40 years now. And then I know his younger brother Spencer. When Spencer and I connected, we were both working for Sims Service at the Metrodome in downtown Minneapolis when I was in between radio jobs back in 1993. And now Sean Bakke's the new head coach of Willmar. And Willmar actually snapped a long conference losing streak. I think the Willmar Cardinals went 65 straight games in the Central Lakes Conference without a win. And they had a winless conference streak of something like 90 games that they halted earlier this month when Willmar beat River Lakes 4-3. So if you're thinking it's going to be a slam dunk to get a Willmar win down in Willmar, the Willmar Cardinals this winter might be saying not so fast.
Right, and that's something that program has needed for a long time. And, you know, it's always been the thought process is, well, we can just mark that one up. And I don't think when you go south anymore that's going to be the case. But good for them.
The next home contest for the Alexandria boys hockey team is set to be on Thursday, January 8th, when the conference-leading Sartell Sabres visit the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center. And then 2 days after that, we'll have a late media presentation of the Elk River Zimmerman game against the Alexandria Cardinals. That will be our next Alexandria boys hockey play-by-play broadcast on Saturday, January 10th, Elk River Zimmerman at Alexandria for a 1:30 start. Jeff, I know that you and I will reconnect once the new year gets underway. We'll actually have a couple of Alexandria girls hockey games sandwiched around the first weekend of the new year. Friday, January 2nd, an afternoon game when Alexandria plays the Duluth Northern Stars. I believe that includes students from Duluth East and Duluth Denfeld as well. I don't know if the Marshall School is part of that co-op, but Duluth visits Alexandria for a 3 p.m. game in girls hockey on January 2nd. Then 2 weeks from tonight, we're back here. A new event put on our broadcast schedule is we'll have Alexandria's girls hockey home game against the River Lake Stars. We ended up adding that to our schedule because we had to do some switching. It involved a January 6th date and a January 15th date, and we ended up pulling the Alexandria girls hockey broadcast at Moorhead off our schedule that night to accommodate our games on January 5th and 6th. If you want to find out more about our revised play-by-play schedule for the weeks ahead, you can check out our story on our Cardinal Sports page at voiceofalexandria.com. You get the revised schedule in there and then results of some of our earlier broadcasts. Let me take this opportunity, Jeff, to say we'll see you next year, which is not that long away from now. But I hope you and Stacy and your kids have a wonderful Christmas holiday season. I always enjoy interacting with you for our Alexandria Sports play-by-play broadcasts. And Merry Christmas, and we'll look forward to seeing you once the new year gets underway.
I appreciate it, and you have a Merry Christmas as well, D-Mac.
Very good. There is Jeff James, my broadcast partner for Alexandria Cardinal hockey coverage in the winter and Alexandria soccer coverage in the fall season. My thanks to the many boosters of Alexandria Cardinal sports coverage who helped to bring you our play-by-play. Special thanks to Juttner Motors for sponsoring our post-game report. We got a beep there, so let me try to get that off. No. You know what I got to do here? Let's see if hopefully that restores it. If not, I guess we're going to be heading off the airwaves pretty soon. But again, Juttner Motors presenting our post-game report. For Jackson, back at the KXRA studio, and for our videographer, J.P. Boleen, I am DMAC Dave McClurg. Again, St. Michael-Albertville gets the victory over Alexandria in overtime 4-3. So long, and Merry Christmas. You've been listening to coverage live from the Prime West Health Runestone Community Center in Alexandria.